Howdy gang. Going back to Pentiment. We just started Act 3. So what I've looked up is that Act 3 is like just slightly longer. Like Act 1 was kind of long, Act 2 is pretty short, Act 3 is slightly longer than Act 1, so this will take like 2 or 3 sessions, meaning I've got a lot to do still. I hope we get to meet the string puller at least. Like, I'm not sure we convicted the right people in either situation, but enough time's passed that I suppose it doesn't really matter anymore, you know, what's done is done. Point is, someone has an agenda, and that's more interesting than anything else, right? It's like in, LA Noire, there's the Black Dahlia cases, like, those are based on a real string of unsolved murders, and, like, you arrest someone for each of the cases, and, like, the fact of the matter is whoever you arrested did not do it, but you always catch them on something fucked up anyways, so, like, I don't think I necessarily put anyone to death who maybe didn't deserve some form of justice, but, I'm not confident that they did what I accused them of. Anyways, we are now, Magdalene, the printer's daughter, and we are supposed to be painting some kind of mural. I think someone called us like a town hall meeting. I should check the journal and find out where to go. Nah, Oates. I guess that he's sweet on me. Said Dad was looking for me. I need to grab the mural plans from the workshop at the house and then head to the rat house. They should be sitting at his workbench near a printing press. Okay, so I need to go to Klaus's house. And then I guess I'm painting the new mural on the rat house itself. And it has to be nearing completion. It's been a few years. Stonework takes a long time. You know, machinery to do the cutting and shit. Also, the stonemason might be dead by now. Like, he was old. And his son that he wanted to grandson that he wanted to make his apprentice is dead, unfortunately. Rat house mural sketches. I think this is what Dad wants. I think these are all the plans. What is this part of the plans? Stop. String puller is still trying to intimidate someone, but now I'm one of the people who received the note, so, like, I might come into direct contact with them? Huh? This is Dad's handwriting. I can actually kind of read this. An odd color, we don't have ink like that here. At least I don't think we do. Well, whatever, I'll just bring it just in case. Alright, better get these over to the rat house. So, if he's telling me to stop, I think that means I might be playing the next murder target. Got to check the game audio. Mic was messed up at first, but it's fine, it's fine. Serious? I just told you not to call me that. You called me Mags, I forgot to read his line, fuck me. And what are you all doing out here? Don't you have better things to do? What business is that of yours? Not me, all my work is done, Mags. What do you... What do you care? It sounds like you've got important work to do. Take a background and take a character choices. Tinker Magdalene maintains and tinkers with the press and type, sometimes works with Baltus. Oh yeah, I thought that he seemed like he had no relevance to the last section, but I guess he's living in the town now. And that's cool. Domestics, Magdalene can't handle anything connected with the household or animal work. I mean, I'm not sure that a printer's daughter would know this. Like, her mom's been dead. Klaus wouldn't be able to teach her that. You know, she'd put her to work. Bookkeeping, proficient with balancing numbers and general accounting data for information. Yeah, I think that or Tinker makes more sense. Tinker. I'm interested in what Baltus has to offer, at least. Bookkeeping might be relevant if Guy is still around, I have no idea. Like, he could very well be the string puller. Maybe he planned for the library to get burned down so that he could make an escape from the Abbey with all of his money that he's been stashing. I don't know. And it's Tinker. I keep the press running for my dad, and I work with Baltus on his inventions. It seems a little more important than standing around in the commons in the middle of the day. Baltus's inventions are stupid. It doesn't seem like something a girl should involve with, if you ask me. Right, no one did. Calm down, Max. You're going to get a reputation. Too late to worry about that. She already has a reputation. What, for being a prickly bitch? Magdalene is skilled at stringing, countering, and otherwise deflating people in conversation. That's funny. Kinda just did that, though. Magdalene likes to playfully tease and flirt with people. I don't want to be a slut. Magdalene is a strong negotiator when it comes to finances or other matters of trade. Snoop, Magdalene has a penchant for sneaking around, eavesdropping conversations, and passing gossip. I think I'd rather be known as the bitch. Town bitch. Prickly. Barbs. Call me Mags, you should call me Barbs. At least I have a reputation. If you died today, Ephistus would read epitaphs. Would read 3 shitheads who spent every morning harassing girls in the commons. Assuming you've got a grave, that is. More likely they toss your worthless bodies in a compost heap and hope for a better return. Bro, that was a little savage. You didn't need to do that. Like, Jesus Christ is right. Alright, we got it. Lay off. Did you get those things your dad wanted? Yes, that's why I was on my way to the rat house. Hopefully I can drop these off and start my reading for the day. Reading? Oh, what book is so important that you need to get back to it? Oh, no. Polyglot. Not the same. Magdalene can't speak any foreign language or other than Italian, but she can read a little of almost all of them. Magdalene is familiar with the most popular common books of the day, as sort of trivia's, almanacs, common knowledge, and categorical stories. Reformation. Magdalene has read a wide range of contemporary books of Reformation, Counter-Reformation. So this is like, she's a white girl, you know, she reads the latest tween dramas, you know, she was into Twilight and the Maze Runner and Hunger Games and shit, like, she's a fucking nerd in this, like, you know, the 12 articles and stuff, like, that had an influence on her childhood. I think this makes, like, a lot of sense for her to be interested in the Reformation of the Church and shit. The Lying of John Chrysostom by Martin Luther. Sounds boring and bad. Luther criticizes hearers for telling impossible stories without the saints. Don't let Father Thomas know you're reading that. What? Like, he's anti-mysticism and religion? Kinda good. What? He'd object to people questioning if St. Maurice and St. Sadia really performed all his miracles? Yes, I think that's probably what he would be mad about. Don't you read all sorts of books about trees and birds and whatever? Yeah, trees and birds and whatever, that's right. Remember the book that we got her, the Animalis, whatever, Latin thing? People are finally writing down what they see in nature instead of copying something a Greek imagined centuries ago. Do you have any books on frogs? What? Never mind. Oh wait, it's not you supposed to be in the right house too, you're on the council. Sure, but it's pointless without your dad's plans, let's go. Fine. I don't understand how we're still arguing about this. These murals should depict the truth. What's known is the truth. I don't think it's so simple, Klaus. Oh, so this is another Lutheran debate. Like, he wants to not have miracles painted. He wants life is. Kind of like what we did with that art sketch we were doing in Act 1. Like, we painted ball as we knew it, not as it's traditionally been depicted. Are you afraid of angering our Lord, Father Thomas? I think Father Thomas means that the truth is not so easily agreed upon. I don't know, I'm tired of arguing. I just want to look nice and show what happened. Big George looks a little too old. Like, was he, like, in his 20s or 30s before? I thought he was, like, a teenage son. Magdalene, thank you for bringing these. Maybe illustrations will succeed where talking has failed. I'm done arguing with them. I'll see you at home for supper. It's alright, Magdalene. We don't need to see the drawings. It's not that we don't understand what he's trying to do. I didn't realize we had upset him so much. Sounds like things got worse after I left. Oh, we've been arguing about this for almost 2 hours. For all the good it did us, he hasn't budged. What's the point of talking if you can't make any progress? Oh, I'm telling you this. You didn't budge either. What's the point of talking if you have no plans to change your mind, huh? You gotta be open to it. Magdalene, could you speak to your father and help him see things from our point of view? Oh, Thomas, I don't even know what you're all arguing about. What's your point of view? Klaus has strong, very strong opinions on how the history of tasing of Kirsu Abbey should be portrayed. All those portrayals may upset some of our neighbors. Oh, and those portrayals, I mean, yeah, bloody history in it. Isn't the real concern that this is going to upset the Lord? Isn't everyone really worried about him coming here someday and seeing the revolt memorialized on the wall? You keep saying that we all disagree with them. I don't think I do, not entirely. What do you think, George? I know I'm not the smartest man in this room, but I know what happened to my own dad. I know what he did. It doesn't feel right to ignore what happened to him, what happened to Otto. Look, you all knew my dad. I never had the chance. I don't want to make the people in this town angry. I don't want to make our Lord angry. None of us do, but maybe there's a way to tell the story in a way that's true without upsetting someone. Yeah, like fictional characters, maybe. Like, don't... It's all very complicated, you see, Magdalene. Try to get him to consider a portrayal of our history that's a little less inflammatory. I don't think there's a reason to fucking deflate him right now, bro. I don't think it's complicated as y'all think. We need to come to an agreement or cut off the mural entirely. He's been wanting to paint this mural for years. You can't tell him no all of a sudden. Help us, Magdalene. Your father will listen to you. Fine, but only so we can paint it, not on account of you bickering like children. Now I'm going back home. This mess is taking up too much of my day already. Yo, holy shit, we got a real clock now, bro? No strange Christian time? Clock unit counts for the months, dog. Magdalene? Thank you for bringing the drawings to the rat house. I'm sorry it was a waste of time. Those men don't know what they want. I tell them what I'm trying to do, they get scared. Then they talk and talk and talk. They talk all day, and we never get any closer to a decision. Sick of it. Sick of the whole thing. Just propose something more predictable. I'm worried about you. I know, I appreciate the concern. I suppose I haven't been this upset about something in a while. I'll get through it, I just need time. Why is it bothering you so much? We hear all these stories about what this place was, how it came to be. And it feels like history is something that happened to other people. But 18 years ago, we lived through something, you and I. Everyone in tasing. Everyone wants to forget about it, pretend it didn't happen. Don't. No, I don't. All those years ago, I did nothing. I was worried for you, worried for Benjamin, Rachel, and Esther. I was afraid that I'd lose you. I wouldn't have been able to bear it. In the end, so many people died anyway. Peter and Ulrich, Andreas, and all the others. And we lived. That everyone says that it wouldn't have made any difference. If you and the others had fought, you would have died. I would have died. Maybe I could have stopped them from going to the mill. Or maybe we could have stopped the peasants from burning it down. But we'll never know. Damn. His inner pathos is screaming out that he needs to paint this art. So history doesn't forget his suffering. Is that what this is about, this mural? It's a chance to put something down on a place where everyone can see. If people start to forget, this will remind them. We were here. This happened. If I don't do it, who will? You're right there. Wish the man around something the way you do. One way or another, you'll figure it out. Hope so. All arguing has left me beat. I'm going to bed early. Alright, I'm gonna stay up for a bit and write a letter to Esther. Good, please say hello to her for me. And her parents, I know, Dad. Good night, Magdalene, I love you. I love you too. Almost running around has left me tired too. Nice to sit down at my desk and just write for a while. Guess Esther's the name of the new kid. Alright, where to begin? Should write to Esther. You asked Esther. Hope you and your family are well. Dad sends his regards to your parents like usual. Spent the last few days collecting oak galls with Sister Gertrude. I don't suppose you had the chance to do that in Prague. Sister Gertrude has been teaching me how to grind them into smooth ink. It's difficult work, but you'll find no better ink anywhere in Bavaria. I'll send along a bottle with this letter. Oh, Dad, I mentioned Dad started a new project. He's painting a mural of Tasing's history in our new rat house to memorialize the revolt. The whole thing has me thinking about my own family history, past, present, and future. Printing shop has been in the family for years. I'm looking forward to taking it over. Of course, Dad will keep running it until he can pull the levers anymore, but I'll take over sooner or later. Seems like the type who wouldn't want to get married at this point, right? If I inherit the print shop, I won't have to get married either. Christ, you would not believe how annoying Oz is. I think his mom is under the impression he's been courting me. Can you imagine? And yes, before you break the nib off your pen, I come to visit you in Prague, I promise. Or if I picked the other option, you would be like, oh, this has been like courting me, I think we're getting married. They don't seem to get along, really. But maybe that's like playground flirting. I try to make time to visit before winter. Life has been bustling here. Dad's been busy with the house murals, so I've taken over in the workshop. I'm sure it'll be a sight to behold once it's finished. Right back to me soon. All my love. Magda. She does use a nickname. It's not Mags. But yeah, she gets some rest soon. It's a big ass bed. No socks. Grippers out. No blank. It's fall, bro. You need a little blankie. probably having a temper tantrum there. Unless someone killed him. Dad? Magdalene? Dad? Hang on, I'm coming. Maybe he fell down the stairs in the dark and... Holy fuck! Ah! Magdalene. What happened? Are you alright? You're bleeding. Someone came into the house. They hit me over the head. I'll get to Dr. Stoll. Try not to move, Dad. Magdalene, it's not safe. Whoever attacked me. But not as deep as the one that killed the Baron. Most peculiar. Maybe I did get the right man. It's too deep for me to take care of my own. We need Dr. Stoll's. Magdalene, be careful. I'll be right back, I promise. Just walks back in, gives him the old Dead Space stomp the second I walk out the door. Still can't believe freaking Dead Space remake came out like the day after I freaking finished playing it on here. I would have liked to play that version. It looks so good. Do you know why anyone would want to attack you, Klaus? I think he's alive, fuck yeah. No, maybe someone didn't like one of the books I sold them. Are you sure you didn't see a shadow hit you in the head over the printing press? Come on, George, you saw the workshop. Somebody was looking for something. A burglar and tasing? That's preposterous. What about the one that returned? Well, if it wasn't an attack, what was it? Enough, it was deliberate blow to the head, unless any of you wish to debate my diagnosis. No, of course not now. As I thought. Peasants. Truthfully, Klaus, I'm surprised the blow didn't kill you. You have a strong skull. Grave injury, Magdalene. You need to take care of your father. Well, whatever I need to do. Good. Of course, the mural will have to be called off now. Klaus, you absolutely cannot get out of bed. No, it has to be done. This is too important. I'm going to give you some time to rest. I'll find a way to make it work. I don't think we need to cancel the entire project. Can't we just wait? Klaus, your health comes first. Anyway, we haven't even been able to agree on what the mural should be. Indeed, it might be best to abandon the entire idea. With respect, Father Thomas, you are not on the council. That's true. Why the fuck you at the meeting like being the biggest naysayer, you douche? You're not on the council. Yes, just offering an opinion. I can paint the mural. Oh, Ags, quit joking around. Well, I know you wanted to help out your dad, but aren't you too young for something this big? I'm old enough to run the print shop for myself, and Dad trusts me to illustrate the books. Isn't that enough? Painting a mural this large and complicated will take a lot of skill and expertise. So that's why we're having your dad make it. He's been making art forever. Yeah, he's also got like Parkinson's and shit, dog. I agree with Paul. Klaus needs to home care. And you're best suited for that, Magdalene, not a mural. Damn misogynist. What's that supposed to mean? Well, are you sure you're up for it? Physically, I mean? Quite demanding. You'd be on scaffolding and could fall. Someone's gonna try and kill me, too. Are you not listening to me? I've already been doing this work for years. I know what it takes. Dad knows what it takes. Do you? Do you? I can do it, Dad. Trust me. You don't trust Magdalene to do the mural. To hell with the lot of you. Whole house. You don't. If you don't trust her, you don't trust me. I'll never do any work for this council again. Alright, I said we let her. Doesn't look like we have much choice. Very well. Alright, Magdalene, you can do it. And Warner's a bit of a douche. Maybe he's the one who set everything up. Treating the peasants like playthings. You still don't need to talk to us about what you're doing, alright? Fine, but I'm taking Dad's ideas into account. I'll figure it out. Thanks, Magdalene. Rest up, Klaus. I'll do my best, Jorg. Magdalene, just a moment. Yes, what is it? Your father is lucid right now, but his injury is severe. His current demeanor is misleading. Yeah, that's true. I remember, like, when I got in my car in an accident, I was, like, fine that whole day, and then the morning after, I was completely fucking paralyzed. Like, he's on the adrenaline high right now. He might be in a coma tomorrow. I know the injury is severe, Warner. I saw all the blood. Now, what are you saying? Magdalene, there is damage to his brain. He may have a few weeks, maybe even a few months left. But he's not going to survive. Internal bleeding. Not good. Can't we take him to see a surgeon? No, he can't be moved in this condition. In fact, he shouldn't be moved at all. I'll make him a robotic skull. Talk to the dwarves. Even if he could, I don't think the finest Italian surgeons would know how to deal with trauma like this. You're just gonna die? And there's nothing I can do about it. You can make him comfortable and you can enjoy the time you have left. But time will run out before long. It's a bummer. Just when I was talking about inheriting the shop, like, careful what you wish for, fuck. The dad needs to be able to see the mural in its finished form. I don't know how much time he has left. Warner said it could be a few months, or God protect him. I'll pick up where Dad left off. He wanted to paint the history of tasting from its earliest days to the revolt. I'll start with the earliest part of tasting's history, the pagan tribes and the Romans. Then I'll move on to the founding of the Abbey and tasting's saints. After that, I should find a way to represent our recent history. Depicting the revolt is important to Dad. People in tasting might know some of the town's history, but not all of it. Dad said the librarian Kurisu had those records. He was going to write the last prioress to see if she had any information. I should write to her now while I'm thinking about it. Mother Illuminata? What about the crime scene, though? I think I cleaned up already. I don't know why I clicked on the bed. You need to write. Alright, where to begin? Dad told me the last prioress at Kurisu knew something about the old history of tasting. He said she became the abbess of a convent in Bologna. Mother Illuminata? Yeah. That's Santa Magarthia. It should write to her. Saint Magarthia. Mother Illuminata and Santa Magarthia, former prioress of Kirsi Abbey. Her name is Magdalene Druckern. I do not believe we ever met. I was very young when you left Kirsu. I'm the daughter of Klaus Strucker, Magdalene. We were printers from Tasing. You were acquainted with my father. He brought many books from the library before that terrible fire consumed the place. I'm writing because my father and I are creating a mural in Tasing's rat house. It's going to tell the history of our community in Kirsu as well. We have only legends and folklore since, of course, all Kirsu's books were destroyed in a fire. I was hoping you could tell us something about the early history of the town when the Romans were here. If you know anything about the early history of the abbey itself, we would also be glad to hear it. We would appreciate any help you can give us and hope you are well. Like, how long is this letter gonna take to get to Italy? Like a freaking month? Father always spoke highly, especially how you cared for the library and its books. It was her favorite thing, the books. God bless you, Magdalene. You want to sleep already? If I want to finish the mural before Christmas, I should start planning tomorrow. I should head to bed and get as much rest as I can. Check on Dad before bed. Give him a snacker. That good? Hey Dad, how you feeling? Can I get you anything? No, I'm fine. You go on. Alright, I'll come back and check on you later. Watch me, like, forget to do that one day and he just fucking dies. So I should get some rest soon. Sleep. What are those, days? Hours? There's 27 of them. That can't be hours unless we had a different time. Ah, Mr. Strucker, and I have a few letters here addressed to you. Ah, it must have been days. Yeah, skip right to when we get the letter back from Illuminata. So, Thanksgiving just passed, but they don't celebrate Thanksgiving because this isn't in America. But, you know, I think most cultures have some kind of final harvest festival at least. Maybe they save it for Christmas because they don't stockpile enough food yet, who knows. Thank you, sir. Mother Illuminata wrote back to me. I hope her response helps me paint the mural. Mr. Strucker, thank you for your letter. I hope this reply finds you and your father in good health. I remember you both as your father would carry you between the rows of our library in its final years. I also remember your late mother and brother. God keep their souls. So I was a little boy in the painting in the house. I don't know why I'm not in the picture, damn. While we did have some books that discuss Tasing's past, it's likely they were as mythological as what your neighbors believe. That said, I remember one of the peasants, Tillman Krister, who read about the history of the town. Right, the guy. Big guy. The hat. I know he died during the revolt, but perhaps his family knows some of what he learned. I should also say that it's not true that all of Kiers's books were destroyed by the fire. Andreas Mahler managed to save some from the flames, God rest his soul. In the aftermath of that terrible night, cataloging and preserving the surviving books was not at the top of any of our minds. Even so, this topic has stirred a memory within me. Several years before the fire, there was the death at Kiersey, the murder of Baron Rothvogel. If he had mentioned something about finding a copy of Historia Tasey, a comprehensive chronicle of your home, I had forgotten about it until now because the murder dominated all of our thoughts in the days and weeks that followed. It troubles me now because I recall that the late Father Matthias was also reading a copy of Historia Tasey shortly before he died. Is there something in Tasing's history they don't want us to know about? Is there like some immortal Roman ruler in this zombie man? They never accounted for either book's whereabouts. They may have been hidden somewhere in the library and went up with everything else. Perhaps Prior Ference took it with the Baron after the murder. Took it from the Baron after the murder. Ference had an interest in books of all sorts, of course, but it seems like an odd thing to do in the moment. And again, only God knows what he did and why he did it. Nicholas, I can't read that. The Baron's manservant believes it may have been stolen by a town's thief, Martin Bauer. If Martin is still alive, I would ask if he knows where the book is. Hopefully he didn't trade it for a mug of beer on his way out tasting. If the man has passed from this world, perhaps his family knows where the book wound up. As for the history of the abbey, I fear that was still lost in a blaze. However, as sacristan, Prior Matthew learned a great deal about the subject. I have not kept in contact with him, but I know he is now the Archdeacon of Sion. He is no longer a Benedictine, but uses his family name, Constantine Sue. If you write to him soon, your letter may reach him before snow covers valleys. Please convey my best wishes to your father. He was a good friend to the Abbey in its better years. Despite the violence that occurred, I hold no ill will towards anyone from Tasing. I pray that you have seen better days since that night, and God forgive the many errors we made. God bless you as well. Mother Luminata, Ada Santa Margrethe. Oh, Esther wrote me as well. Dear Magna, my parents were glad to hear from your father. Please tell them they wish to hear from him soon. Speaking of printing, your ink was well received indeed. I've made several prints with it. They look lovely on the wool. Elisha is taken to making his own ink from Elijah. Taken to making his own ink from scraps he found around the house after he saw yours. What, like uneaten fruit? Mother was furious when he spent several evenings trying to find lapis at the market. He sat him scrubbing the floors for it. It took him 3 days. I'm glad you're keeping busy, even though it keeps you from visiting. Father says we'll have a room whenever you decide to make an appearance. And if you do take over the shop and tasting, you'll have to make visits to Prague for supplies. Who knows, maybe you'll meet someone here. I've made a good match too. Before the expulsion, there was a handsome man at the synagogue, Simond, who caught my eye. Simon. His father is a merchant, and he's a doctor. He went to the University of Pada, can you believe it? Just the most Jewish man. I'd quite like to marry him if I can't find him again. I can find him again, jeez. Anyways, I think you'd even better luck than me. The boys would swoon at a beautiful blonde artist from the Alps. Please keep us abreast of your father's mural. We'd have to come see it when it's finished. Blessings, Esther. I have to write to Esther back tonight. I should head home and check on Dad. Hey, Dad, how you feeling? Ah, Magdalene. Sitting upright is still a struggle, I'm afraid. The dizziness makes my stomach turn. I'd rather not eat at the moment. Are you sure? I can bring up something light, like milk or broth. Oh no, I can stomach just anything yet. Tell me, where are you off to? I need to get started on the first part of the mural today, the old history. Mother Lorna didn't know much about Hastings' early history, but she did give me a few places to start. I'm going to ask Black Till if his grandfather told him any stories. Illuminata said he used to read about the Romans. Mother Illuminata, Magdalene. Yes, Mother Illuminata. Young Kritzer has mentioned those tales from time to time. Yes, he has come to borrow books now and then. Usually when he found some interesting old ruin out in the fields, you may ask him about that. Old Peter always harumphed about how no one paid attention to the old ways anymore, too. Oh, right, we failed to convince his daughter not to study the pagan stuff, so, she might know something. I'm sure he'll have stories to tell about old tasting. You might stop and talk to him. I didn't think of that, thanks, Dad. Of course, Magna, it's nice to feel useful even if I'm stuck here in bed. Nonsense, I'm just glad you're awake. You might talk to Smokey, too. The old charcoal burner seems to know more about what's in the woods around town than anyone else. And he's known gossip. He's been kind to me. I'll chat with him. Certainly he'll know something about the ruins. You may hear something worth your while at any rate. I gotta talk to him. About the ruins or the mines. I can't use books and stories alone. I want to explore whatever is left over from the Romans and before. The salt mine and Roman ruins are the oldest parts of Tasting, so it only makes sense to see what's left behind. You take after your mother. She was always thorough in her research. You always said that's what a good artist do, Dad. Be careful, alright? I know that twins mess around near the salt mine, but I don't want you getting hurt. I don't know why Jorg doesn't keep them in line. Always making trouble, those two. His artist actually knows how to read. I don't think Apollo can even spell his name. The boy struggles with his letters, Magdalene. Don't shame him for it. Not everyone is a printer's daughter. Don't forget your other chores while you're running around town, right? We still have a household to run. I'll get to them. Good, good. You better get going if you want to do all that today. I'll see you later, Dad. Good luck, Magdalene. So do I only have a day to do all that? Like, did talking to people take time slots, or I just talk to them all? Imagine looking at the ruins might... Hey, built a new mill, nice. Paul an artist now, or I guess he painted that, that's nice. Football. Morning, Magdalene. How's the mural coming along? Well, the thing I'm off to is start the first part of the mural today. I'll paint the founding, tasing, and the Romans. Well, if you won't want for any miles, tasting is littered with Roman ruins. It's almost a nuisance. What sort of mural are you creating, Magdalene? I believe Klaus is planning on a fresco. I don't know, some kind of pre-coat. This sounds smart. Ah, yes, I see. Do you have enough plaster? The rat house wall is so large, I was worried it wouldn't stay that wet for long. Since when did Town Miller know so much about art? It's been an interest of mine since childhood, but my father disapproved. After my mother and I left Tasing, we stayed with her family for a few months. I see, so that thing, this must be like the plaster coating, like what's on the mill here, like he painted over the stone so we could draw those leaves on it. Your father's friend, Andreas, he encouraged me to draw. Oh, your way, I studied in my uncle's library. I collected books about various styles since he returned. I had no idea, Paul. Why didn't you want to paint the mural yourself? I'm just not nearly as skilled as you or your father. I know I had my doubts about you taking on the project, Madeline, but you're the most skilled artist in tasting. After your father, of course. Ah, well, anyways, I'm glad the mural is going well. Forgive my sudden questioning about it. I've been so busy preparing for the council's next meeting, I haven't had much time with Anna as usual. She says I get a bit frantic when I'm overwhelmed. Council's working on something new. We're considering yearly maintenance checks over every house in Tasing. It's great. The idea had quite a bit more pushback than we anticipated. I guess you are sending strangers into the home, but keeping the roofs over their heads good. I can understand the utility proposition, but it might feel like a nuisance. Precisely, that's an issue we've run into. And this would help protect those in Tasing who don't have the skills to fix things themselves. We did only have one carpenter and he got murdered, bro. I don't know if Oates took over that or not. Widows like Agnes or Gret. But without instituting it for the whole town, we can't enforce the proposition. In any case, the matter is far from resolved. Imagine spring will come before anything is actually done. I'd better get back to work. Thank you for letting me interrupt your day, man. Well, you see, that's good marketing. Like, you wait for this winter to end and you like, oh shit, my roof's all soggy, it collapsed, we got spring rain, and you know, it would have been nice if someone did a maintenance check. You know, you wait for the problems to start, then you bring the idea back up. God bless you. See you later, Paul. I suppose I can see the ruins. Hopefully it tells me if it's gonna take time, but like, they're right here, you know? Snow and screaming down the mountains. Winter will be here soon. Oh. They're at the mill. I don't know what road I took. Or can I not go down there anymore? Ursula? I don't know. The kid I'm thinking of was a redhead, right? Like, that might be her. She should know the pagan stuff. I can't imagine Ilpier's actually still alive. He was already a little senile, but now he's outlived his son. That has to have really fucked him up. This place looks like it's maybe in some ill repair. Killian. Good lad. Hi. Werner. Magdalene. Tell me something. You well? Don't patronize me, girl. Why was I cursed with a life in tasing? What does this pathetic little hamlet have to offer a man like me? Tell me, Magdalene. Damn. I don't need to. He's already pissy. Yeah, what do you think you deserve, huh? Are you like a... What's the word I'm looking for? What do you call like a successful man? Like a philanthropist? A playboy? Are you an in-playboy? You think you deserve success just because you exist? Because you went to school and you don't have to work for it or, like, find the right opportunities? Like... I was talking to an older dad type at my job before, and he was like, you know, he's poor, and he's in like his 50s, so he's in a bad place. And he's talking about how he thinks he's owed more success than he has, and he's asking if I ever felt like that. I'm like, what success am I owed? And, you know, he's not like a stubborn guy. You know, that sentence was enough to make him actually fucking think. He's like, you know, you're right. Anyways. What do you just think you deserve? I was destined to the courts of kings. Out of town full of peasants who churn out more of themselves than the rabbits in the meadow. A town where craftsmen learn men like myself, Baltus, even your father, have their minds wasted. In a few decades, we will be dead, and Tasing will forget us all. God doesn't care. We never cared for me. He deserted us all, and the Abbey was destroyed. If he even exists. Dr. Stolz, that's blasphemy. If he doesn't like it, let him strike me down right now. Waiting. Release me, O Lord, I am waiting. As expected. Where is your God now? You know, I try to do what's best for all, but none of you listen. I only argue. You, Klaus, Georg, Baltus, gah. Still can't believe you're working with him. I thought you guys were friends. You should be at home looking after your father. Big herbs for whatever provincial remedies you still hold to. Do something fit for... What are you fit for? Drowning yourself in beer all day? No, you're trying to provoke me. I won't rise to it. You'll never find a husband with that attitude of yours, girl. You're the kind of bachelor I can expect to choose from. I should become a nun. I'm a good man, damn you, educated, important. I could have any woman I wanted if I cared to try. Where's your woman, Dr. Stolz? Are you an incel? You an incel and in Playboy? You'd be a hideous nun anyways. The appearance of a nun doesn't matter, sir. Roll my eyes. Tongue-tied the moment someone talks back. Surprise, surprise. If you're determined to be an asshole, I'm gonna leave. I see, say both. I have a mural to work on. Maybe you want, Magdalene. Just don't ruin the mural. Not that it matters anyway. Martin was supposed to have the history book. Hey, he's alive. What up, Martin? Morning, Magdalene. How's Klaus? Enduring, even when his speech is slurred, he keeps a cheerful heart. I don't know what life would be without him. Klaus is a good man, Magdalene. Tasting is better poised thanks to him. He's one of the few in Tasting who hasn't been on my back all this time. What do you mean? Don't pretend like you haven't, or Downsilk have whispered shit about me for years. So if I occasionally get into a few brawls, I'm an honest man. I wasn't involved with what happened to Otto Zimmerman. I supported his cause. I've pulled my weight around here, tilled the soil, salted the meats, provide for Brigida and Kraft. I've done enough back-breaking work for this family. I can't a man just have a goddamn rest? Brigida supports you in all of this, doesn't she? Like, she suck your dick, bro? That's a wife's duty. Take note, Magdalene. We get along, though she often spends more time with Veronica than me. And good friends in childhood, yes? Yeah, good to have friends. You don't have any friends anymore, do you? Alright, I've lost enough time to this as it is. Time for you to go. Wait, I almost forgot the reason I came to you. I'm trying to learn the history of tasting. I was told you could help. Hey, oh, what do I know about history? Mother Lumina told me you borrowed a book of local history from Baron Rothvogel. Mother Luminata. Oh, you mean one of the old nuns from the Covenant? Ah, sure, a book. I might have taken it back then. Let's not accuse him of theft. That was a lifetime ago. I can't remember the book or what I did with it. Those are years that were blurred. Probably threw it away somewhere or left it at home. Wouldn't have been much for me to do with the book. I can't read. Too unique for me to have sold it, too. No one outside tasting cares about its history anyway. I should ask Brigida if she remembers anything about it. Sure, couldn't hurt. It was decades ago, but she's the one who remembers shit. Thanks for the help, I guess. Uh-huh. There's nothing else. I've got work to do. Till later, Martin. What do you want, Derek? Magdalene, how are you keeping? What's crappling? I'm eager to continue work on the mural. I have so much to do before Christmas. I'm certain it will be the pride of tasting when you're through. You always had your mother's talent for art. And how's your dad? You're one of the only people who've asked how I'm doing before asking about my dad. I know how it is to be the sole caregiver. Yourself disappears behind the needs of the person you're looking after. I worry about you carrying all that weight alone. I remember when my dad fell. We cared for him the best we could, but those few months before he passed away, though, a time for everyone. I believe God will pull your dad through. Whatever the doctor says, we need him. God willing, you're right. I'm at his mercy. God willing, amen. Thought about what you'll do if Dad doesn't come through this? What did happen to Otilia? Dad wants me to keep up the printing press. Wouldn't that be a sight? Are you sure you can handle it? It's a lot to manage on your own. You're a good girl, Magna. There's any number of family tasting would be happy to take you. You have someone in mind, don't you? So far, Paul seems like the nicest guy, and he's an artist, so, like, that's cool. Must be oats. Hell no. Literally can't imagine who you're alluding to. I think Paul's married anyways. He did mention Anna. We're gonna have to check on her. Not a single man of quality in this town. Not even young Oates. How about subtle as he's about as subtle as his father, God rest his soul. I miss him. Oates doesn't know what he wants. Some days I'm amazed he can button his own pants. The way Ava hovers. Who's to say she doesn't do it for him? Oh no. It was the same with Otto and Ava. No, we all knew he was hers from the start. As odds appears to be yours. Hey. If nothing ever comes to that, I know you'd always be welcome in my family, Magna. Perhaps a nice hard-working boy. He's got a sharp mind. He can provide for a family. I just think it's weird when parents do this. Trying to set me up with your son. Can you blame a mother for trying? You're a good, respectable girl, Magna. Any family would be lucky to have a daughter. I mean, you're rude. I prefer to decide on my own time. Alright, I'll let it lie. You know, not every marriage may start off on solid footing. But if you pray and work and trust in the Lord, you can find it in time. Believe me. You're not making the prospect sound very enticing. Marriage is our natural state in our homes that we are closest to the Lord. The Lord made us from Adam's rib because he meant us to be part of men. What? You would be lonely to know that fullness of purpose. You never know. That's no life for someone like you. What, the purpose of being a baby maker? No thanks. Some kind of feminist woman, feminazi. You're not the first person to tell me so. That's because your elders are wise, Magna, trust in our love for you and the Lord's purpose. Hey, you never had a chance to be successful. I've got opportunities. In any case, I should get back to the chores. Remember what I said, whatever happens, you're always welcome at my house. Before I go, actually I had a question on an old book. Martin is supposed to have stolen it from that baron who was killed years ago. Do you know what happened to it? Oh! This doesn't get me in any trouble, but I still have it hidden in a drawer. Martin left it behind when he ran off. I went through all the trouble to take it, but didn't bring it along. Martin was a thief, but he was stupid. I'm sure he realized no one would believe he'd come by the book, honestly, so he could sell it. Like, keep it. What was I supposed to do? The Baron was killed soon after, and there I was, holding his stolen book. I didn't want Martin to get in any more trouble than he was already in. I never read it, though. I don't read well. Can I have it? I don't know. I need to reference it for the mural. Won't everyone wonder where you got the ideas? I've been talking to people all over town. They'll think I got ideas from them. Alright. I like to have nothing more to do with it, to be frank. It reminds me of difficult times. Stolen book of a dead nobleman in our home. Perhaps it's spoiled our milk and turned our eggs all these years. There you are. Please don't tell anyone I had this. Storia Tassier. It's in Latin, which I don't read well. I'll puzzle over in the evening. You didn't learn to read Latin from the book freaking Andreas gave you? Maybe if I gave her the easy Latin book, that would have helped. Thank you, Brigga. You've been a big help. Of course, Magna. Well now, God bless. You too, Brigga. Until later. Oh, that was fruitful. Old gossip, get a book. This is where the old crone lived, yeah. Repulsive. You a brother? Matilda, aren't you a nun? They got married? Bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Matilda. Hello, Wolsef. How are you two? Very well. The Lord has blessed us more than we deserve. Got a little shack. I don't look very blessed, but at least you're happy, I suppose. It's gotta be better than living as a nun and a brother, right? How are you, Magdalene? I was worried with you keeping the house and the workshop all on your own. I'll bring some soup for you and your father. I would love that. I probably had a moment to cook a hot meal. Between your father's shop and the mural, I'm surprised you're not dead on your feet. He was very lucky to have such a devoted daughter. Or you worry about imposing, you're not. Taking care of your neighbors is how Tilia and I serve tasing. Our vocation may have changed, but our gratitude to God in town is not. Are they like a restaurant? The whole place is just a kitchen, but he's like sharpening a knife over there. Like, is he a cook? Town cook? Maybe feed the boar? Free meals, soup kitchen type deal? Oh, he's been so dedicated to the town. Your neighbors took care of us in difficult times. Sometimes those days feel like another lifetime. A harder time, to be sure. For Benedictines, anything like poor Clares? We live simple lives of devotion, but not that simple. I'm given to understand they don't make art in the Covenant now. Such a shame in that beautiful workshop. In any case, a nun's vows include dedication to simple life with all the challenges that entails. But I struggled with my vows, my discipline. I couldn't live as my sisters did. I needed to fuck. I broke my vows, as did Wolsef. Is there no... You fell in love. Come on, it's wholesome. Hey, we did. Well, I seduced her. Yeah, we just lift the rose like I got no underwear, bitch. You certainly did not. Hey, telling young Magna here that you seduced me, then. Wolsef, please. You left us, so you left the Abbey? Oh, no one learned what we did. The matter ate at my heart. And being falsely accused of murder and the old Baron, terrified you. There's no space there, bro. And rightly so. We all must account for our sins, Magdalene. I'm afraid I would account for mine sooner than I thought. Those were the hardest years of my life. I repented and prayed to God to absolve me. But the Lord always provides, even in the darkest days. The Abbey's destruction gave us a second chance. It's been strange to leave that life after so long. Well, it's been strange not being able to enter the Covenant. I miss sisters terribly some days, but truthfully it's been a relief not to be constrained by my vows. The Lord forgives more readily than man, Magdalene. Never think that you must remain in a place that causes you to sin, even if others do think it godly. You two are finally able to live life together. You both deserve it. Only by the grace of God are we in this life together. Maybe many more years before we part. God willing. Anyway, Magdalene, I'll send that soup over to you shortly. God bless you both. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless. Well, that's wholesome. They're a little old, probably not gonna have a kid, but you know, at least they got out of the struggle. No more chastity. Uta, Hetty, Simon, Hans, and Bauer. You know, I don't think I ever came here. This is where the spinning bee was supposed to be, but I never came here for anything important. I always forget the place even existed. I thought it was this farm. And old Peter's still alive. What about the daughter? Hello, Peter. Can I talk to you for a moment? Yeah, what's that? I was wondering if you could tell me some stories about tasing. Oh, the old tales, hmm? It's been so damn long since anyone had a thought to ask about what I know. But there's still a few of the old tales knocking out this skull, heh. Are there any myths from even before the Romans came to tasting? Of course there are. The Romans weren't the first to live here, you know. There were spirits older than the saints that lived in these woods, older than the Romans. They protected tasting before St. Maurice ever set a blessed foot in town. Now, what if we included the evil spirits in the painting, but then, like, St. Maurice is coming through, like, purging them like some Diablo shit, you know? Bringing the light of Christianity. Spirits only cause troubles, spoiling milk, making livestock sick, things like that. Some do, yes, but who do you think beats the spirits off? Us? What can farmers do against spirits, eh? It's Percha and her wild hunt that scared them evil's ones anew. Away. They've protected tasting since its founding day. Long before those Roman our ancestors roamed these mountains under a great chieftain called Ratus. Italian ice. Now folks weren't as kind as they are now, and tribes fought one another for the best land. The old chieftain was a yellow-bellied coward who neglected the old gods. He was too proud to make offerings. Because of him, the gods favored other tribes, and Raidus people had no land to call their own. Instead, they wandered through these mountains and valleys, hunting and gathering what they could to survive. One day, when winter was approaching, Ratus went hunting and found a wounded wolf tangled in a trap. But instead of killing the beast, most of the men would he help the beast and loose it from its bounds. How do you do that? Wolves kill livestock. Carl told me told you sheep were killed by wolves last month. Toother doesn't keep after his flock well enough, then. And for you, let me get on with the telling of it and stop being a gossip if you want an answer. Sorry, Peter, please keep going. The old gods are keen to repay favors done, and Perchta is the goddess of the wild hunt. The wolves are her animals, she leads the wild hunt, and the wolves lead the hunts to the forest. Back in my day, folk knew it was bad luck to kill a wolf. Now I'm only one who remembers these things. Perchta saw Raidus' action and took favor on him, and told the wolf to lead the chief to her sacred spring. Raidus led his people to the spring and claimed for it his homeland, as we've been in this valley ever since. Is that not the story of St. Maurice? Similar. Then those goddamn Romans came and destroyed everything, but you see, there were other gods protecting this place before St. Maurice. Well, yeah, he was guided by freaking Artemis or whatever. That's why a few of us still honor Perchta. She protects us against witches and fiends. But that's one of your saints. She's out in the freaking on the tree. Wonderful story. Perfect for the first part of the mural. Good, good. Nice to know I'm still of some use to this town. What about the Romans? Do you know any Roman legends of tasing? Roman legends? Pah! Don't borrow stories from outsiders or tales of gods that aren't our own. The Romans did nothing but conquer our people and destroy this town. They spent generation after generation building tasing back from those days. And still, our traditions keep dying with no one to carry them on. Only Ursula's giving a damn about them these days. Yeah, Ursula, that's the name I'm looking for. That's why I want to know, Peter. These stories need to be on the mural. The mural? Fine, fine, but I don't know any of the old Roman shit. Alright, alright. I have a lot to think about. Thank you for sharing your stories with me, Peter. Only someone wants to listen to me. Little Ursula used to sit by me years ago and listen to everything about the old customs. Too busy for that now, of course, but you might talk to her. She might remember more than I do now. He used to listen to the widow, too. Old Ottilia knew more about the old ways than any of us. I'm tired. Talking so much has made me a joke. I'll leave you to rest. God bless you, Peter. Are you Ursula? No, you are Veronica. Are you Ursula? No, you are Clara. Well, what's his face? Black. He had the Roman history, right? Else in Andreas, hey. Magnin, I assume it is. Elsa is Paul's mother, right? Good day, Magdalene. Oi. How's your father? Doing better, I think. Yeah, my prayers, you'll need them with Warner on the case. And it's not to speak ill of the good doctor, he's doing his best. He's a bitter, washed-up drunkard, everyone knows it, we all have eyes. Yeah, we gotta trust and believe in him, it may inspire him to be better. Hasn't he had enough time to become better? We're all always growing and becoming more as people, Magdalene. Tell that to whoever gets killed with his incompetence. And no matter, I'm just glad to be sitting down for a moment. I'm so tired. Andreas and Ulrich can wear down even the most vigorous person. Not even old oats can keep up with these two. The blessing and the curse of small children, eh? Ulrich, is she alright? Ulrika? That like girl Ulrich? That's what you named your daughter? Oh yeah, she wanted to run off and hide so I could find her after I caught my breath for a moment. I don't think she appreciates me taking this long. You're playing along, Andreas? Hiding like your sister? Nah. This young man won't lose sight of his mom. Hey, Magdalene, could you perhaps go find Ulrika in my stead? Of course, I'd be delighted. Wonderful, she's somewhere in town, although I'm not sure where by now. I ran up the street towards the bakery. I imagine you can find her by the giggling he. I'll be off then. Anna was the baker's daughter. I guess she named her kids after one of her two favorite people, her dad and Andreas. Or maybe to honor them since they both died that night. Wonder if this guy ever got married. Hey. Hello, Mr. Jerkin. How's Klaus? Andres and I have been terribly worried. He's been better. He'll pull through, have faith. If there is anything we can help you with, let us know. Andres is always ready to provide. He and Klaus have been friends for a long time. You don't mind, you weren't born in Tasing, am I right? No, I'm originally from Innsbruck. How'd you arrive here? A twist of providence or sudden and unpredictable. I was but a young girl selling all manner of wares on the market, pots and the like. One day this man appears at the stall and jitters and nerves, stammering over his words, but charming in a way. He spoke at length. I was intrigued and soon enamored at all, as if a candle had been lit. Andres is a man of talent and means after all, blessed with a kind soul. How did it feel to leave home for somewhere far away, uprooting yourself to the life you had? Frightening to be sure, leaving Innsbruck, my friends and family behind. But it was exciting as well, going off to find new opportunities and build a new life. There wasn't much I had to look forward to in Innsbruck, few prospects for a poor girl. I couldn't see myself sitting at the market, continuing to sell odds and ends. Sometimes there are risks we just have to take. Very inspiring, Risa. I'm glad you found happiness here. We all struggle in this world, but the moments of joy outweigh the bad. It's God who set the world, His benevolence guiding us through it all. I feel I've been blessed and it has not been all bad with Andres either. I assist him with bookkeeping side of the smithy and other things. Thank you for telling me about your past. It's nothing, Magdalene. I hope it has provided you with some encouragement. Don't forget your importance as well and deserve to live your life. Alright, I have to assist Andres a few things. Be go, Magdalene. Till later, Teresa. I wonder if Andres is like on good terms with me or not. Like, I think the women of the town want to talk to me more. Oh, Magdalene, how's Klaus? Teresa and I are very worried. Alive, and that's what matters. Did you discover who attacked him? No, whoever it was, they left no sign. Terrible crime, terrible. May God look after you both. We've had enough tragedy in this town. Has Gertrude been by to see him? I trust her over the doctor. He's not reliable. He's the most bitter man I've ever met. And he only gets worse as the years go on. He used to talk about how he was too good for tasing and destined for greater things. Still here, though. Why is he on the council? Whatever his faults, he's still an educated man. That counts for something, I guess. You should be on the council, not him. They asked me, turn them down. I like what I do, I'm good at it, I don't need much else than that. Got Risa, of course. But I shouldn't gossip. If there isn't anything recent I can do for you, let's go. I will, thank you for your kindness, Endress. It's nothing. I owe you and your father more than I can say. Take care, Magdalene. Damn, so he went after a young girl. She's still got color in her hair. Man's living the dream. Paid for it by being a virgin for the first 30 years. Now he's an old man with a hot young wife. Aha, there you are. Hey, you found me. Hey, you can't find me again, Mag. You what? Jeez! Oh, Gret, what up? Oh, craft. He's a craftsman. Steinhauer. Were these the people who got the book? I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe crafting now. Hey, Magdalene. Oh, look at that. That's a nice town. Oh, and that's why we got the new clock, because there's a fancy clock tower at this place so you can see over the whole town. Space building and tasing. Built this clock took ages to build in place. This man invented the clock, like, pretty huge, really. Got you! Now you found me again. Hey, here, I'll find a better spot. Baltus Workshop, wonder if I can do another lesson soon. Magdalene. Yes? Cinnamon just arrived for the beer. Making fireball, homie? You're making beer? Oh, yeah. The copper pots you helped me pipe are part of the process. I helped him pipe. Huh. For the Christmas celebration. Already? We're barely in November. I swear that thing said November 30th, or is it the 1st? Well, time stops for no man, but it's going to be wonderful. Cinnamon coffee from Ethiopia, cacao from the New World. I mean, I don't like coffee very much, but cinnamon and chocolate. Some kind of creamy beer. Maybe some eggnog. Man, I can't read that. In French? Jesus Christ, who knows the money can do everything? It must be Italian. He who has money can do everything. Problem? Of course not, it's just your money. Anyways, I'm quite excited about it. Clearly. As such, alchemy is not normally my strong suit. And for all of Nanzu's complaints about the cost, the base rye we're using is free. Saying it's expensive to make a couple kegs of beer for the whole town. Importing it from all over the world. Yes, the farmers had so much rye this year they couldn't use it all. Gret made as much bread with it. Bread has it as she could, but she wound up having to throw a lot out. So why not make beer? Yeah, why not? Thank you. So are you like his assistant or like his top? I can see it. Who is this black fellow? I don't even recognize their last name. Good morning, Madeline. Brisk weather, isn't it? Still, Kraft is out there working with Father Thomas to repair the church. Wonder about the boy sometimes. He works to stone, but I'm not always sure he has his mind set on it. Masonry is a good trade. Everyone needs a stonemason now to repair things. And that they do. Lucky always harped on about how being honest and trustworthy is the most valuable currency. How in this life hard work and reputation matter the most? Kraft has taken that to heart, I think. He does a lot of good for the town. I've offered to find an apprenticeship for him, but he won't make it his damn mind up. He deserves a chance at the life he wants. He lived his father's shadow for too long. Good man, Agnes. You should be proud. Thank you, Magdalene. I've done my best for my household despite what happened in the past 2 decades. And yet you didn't come here to hear me ramble about my family. And what can I do for you? And I thought you might have some additional remedies for my father. Our Warner's not enough. I understand Klaus' condition is dire, but I thought Warner would be able to provide something. I know I won't stand, but I still want to try everything I can. A little bit helps. I understand. Not true. Take like 5 different painkillers. You're gonna overdose, dog. Like, one at a time, please. Let me see what I can whip up. promise anything, but God willing, I pray provide some more help. Thank you, Agnes. Of course, Magdalene, take care. So it sounds like Kraft is like torn between seeking out his own happiness and just taking over the family trade here. I mean, he would be the only stonemason in town. His mom is giving him opportunity, like, she's not holding against him, it's more of an internal struggle for him. Black Till, okay, geez. The Krishners. I only knew them as Otto and Otto, right? Like, those are the only two people alive. Black Till. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Till. Do you have a moment? Of course, what do you need? Ott says you've been obsessed with your painting. I'm looking into the early history tasting for the first part of the mural. Mother Lumnata said your grandfather read about the history of the town. Ah, fertile fields, that is. Seemed like old pot shard and Latin trivia were all he ever talked about. All of Granddad's reading came from the Abbey Library, though, and you know what happened there. Poof, up in smoke. So you don't have any of his old books? Only a few. Granddad tried to buy some when the Abbey fell on hard times, but they were too expensive. And I can show you something better than books. Evidence? Something like that. So you don't have any books on the old pagans, but we do have their stuff. Shards of ceramic pots and animals, bricks from what looks like an old forge, mountains of salt. Even found an old bear card from Amber. That's sweet. Where'd you find all this stuff? Not just me. Carl finds things, Fabian too. Any farmer would tell you the same. It's all out there in the fields, under dirt. Can't go one season out to turn up something. Where are you keeping these things? No, aren't we just toss them into piles with the rest of the rocks and root clumps? You don't think it's worth something? Sure is interesting, but you can't do much of anything except to look at it. What do you think it all means? I don't follow. No, I don't follow. But he's gonna take me to them. How do you think these people lived? Rough, I'd say, but comfortable. Yeah, and they got pots and art, like, they got free time for sure. You don't find much of their clothes or their houses, so they must have rotted. I guess that would mean they were living in huts. But their tools are good quality. They weren't rustled all to hell. I could probably use them today. I don't know why, but I assume they lived in caves or in the muck. They weren't Christians, no doubt about it, but they weren't animals either. I'd say they had it hard, but they got by. Not so different from today, really. Earlier you mentioned something about salt. Did pagans start the salt mine? Had to have, I'd say. Most people think it was a Roman project, but I think the Romans just dug out what was already there. That's why tasting was so important to the Romans in the first place, salt. Tasting wasn't just on the Imperial Road, they made the road come through tasting. Do you think there's anything left in the pagans down there? I don't know, but anything they left would have to be better preserved than what we dig out in the fields. Now go ahead and tell me you aren't thinking of going down there. If there's stuff to help me with the mural. Magdalene. The mine is hundreds of years old. You could break your neck just getting in there. Worth it for the mural. I'm gonna try my best for Dad. Imagine how your dad would feel if you got hurt. Alright. To help me get down safely, you won't have to worry. Then help me get down safely. Bullheaded, just like your mother. And your father. Probably couldn't keep you out of there if I tried. Please still. Alright. Don't know how to get down there myself, but I know the twins have gotten in all the time or two. No doubt they have a trick. And Baltus might not be the most reliable man, but I don't doubt he could rig something up for you. Thank you, Till. Don't mention it. Curious, don't. Been a big help. Trying to spread some knowledge around. Important for folks to know their paths. Think all those pagan stuff will make it in the mural? I could bring some of the things the boys have found over the rat house tomorrow if that would help. That'd be great. I'm glad you're taking an interest, Magdalene. I thought no one cared about the pagans but me and Granddad. I should warn you, if you do head into the forest, keep an eye on for the Lord's men. They're strict, worse than how they used to be. I'll be careful until tomorrow. Till then. Alright, I'll convince his kids to help us, if not him. Still need to find the other kid that could be hiding. And I need to find Ursula as well. Could be around here, or she could be up at the shepherd's. Oh, there she is. Can't hide from me, little bean. You're too good, Mag. I'll go find Mom now. I don't remember her name, but I swear to God, Ursula was like a redhead, and that was the chick out here now. That is Ursula, yes. Okay, cool. Ah, I just want to help. Doesn't have anything to say either. She's just a kid who didn't have much going on with their social life when we knew them. They don't have to build that out for us. We don't care that much, I suppose. Drucker's house get bigger or what? I get like a quest reward. What a fucking pretzel. My troubles. Ah, there you are. Enough hiding, Ulrika? Yes. Agda found me so quick, she's a good finder. No one can escape me, little one. I'll hide better next time. I'm hungry now. I'll have to get you something to eat then, little dove. Pretzel? That's what I'm saying. Give me a fucking pretzel, bro. Oh, is that what a proper child eats? What? It's a fucking nice piece of bread, bro. Thank you for your time, Magdalene. Always glad to play with the children, but I do really have to go now. Can't wait to see what you end up painting. Do us proud, I'm sure of that. Until later. They'll probably buy me some Goodwill whenever something happens. Probably have to accuse someone of hurting Klaus. We can't go to the other Roman ruins, so unless like the path in the forest is available, probably only have the salt mine to really investigate still. Oh, right, we were told to talk to Smokey. And I wonder if I have to write a letter to Matthew or not. Like, is that gonna take a time slot? Do I just do it before bed or what? Do this. Another criminal. Oh, there's something I can do for you. Knives need sharpening. I'm Magdalene Drucker, you friend of Smokey's? I'd like to think so. I'm a Vaxlov. I'm a tinker, travel around to help people with sharpening knives, little things like that. Drucker, are you printer's daughter? My father and I are both printers. Do you sample the wares much? As often as I can. Vaxlov, don't. You're going to get in trouble again. Trouble from me? No, not you, Mr. Strucken. This one can't help but talk to people about all the strange things he believes. He reads all sorts of books, talks to all folk, gets ideas brewing in his head. And it doesn't bother old Smokey none, but some other people a whole lot. It doesn't bother me any. Oh, it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother old Smokey. Sounds like there's nothing to worry about. Fine, you get run out of here again, don't blame me. So, books, strange ideas? Yes, the host, the Eucharist, the bread and wine, body, blood of Christ. Holy Communion, what about it? More and more people are writing about rejecting transubstantiation. You're talking about like using it as symbolic, like we're not actually eating it, like we're transmuting the substance. And it's not blood, it's just wine. The idea that bread and wine of the Eucharist literally becomes the body and blood of Christ. I don't know how to say that word, man. Here we go. Martin Luther has written about it. I know that Erasmus disagreed. Well, yes, Luther and Erasmus aside, people have been thinking about this for a while. Both Wycliffe and his rejected transubstantiation for sound and logical reasons. Using our eyes or senses, there is nothing perceptible that changes in the character of the bread and the wine. Suppose that's true. Good, but there's also a second point. Even if the bread and wine turned Christ's body and blood, why is that necessary for spiritual communion? Are we bound by flesh attempting to reunite with the light of God through the Eucharist? The act, the observance, unites our will with that of Christ. He is present in us through the remembrance, not the physical act. Even Martin Luther said the presence of Christ's physical body and blood was necessary to communion. Yes, but the others at Marburg College disagreed. Zwingi, Malcolm, Buker, all men far wiser and more educated on these matters than us. And if you consider that these men have rejected such thinking, then there are greater implications. Are you really here to hear why it's important to disbelieve in transubstantiation? Yes, I'm certain this is leading somewhere good. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic, but alright. It all starts with Lucifer creating the world. Jesus Christ. He'll get to him. God was the world, and the world was truth. The truth is light. The light is God's will. God's light contained aspects, what we consider angels, facets of his infinite intellect. One of these aspects separated itself from God's intellect and manifested in the darkness as corrupt will, Lucifer. By what power could a portion of God's will separate from the whole? The will moved itself. Beans. Beans! Hey! Probably has to go to the bathroom for some dog. God's intellect, being infinite, also contained the capacity to transcend the infinite. What? That's just like theoretical metaphysics, bro. To exist outside the boundaries of God's infinite light, to corrupt will brought into being as equally infinite darkness. Without that darkness, Lucifer cast his false light, a corrupt imitation of the divine intellect, to create the world. It's in that darkness. All material in our world is inherently a corrupt manifestation of that false light. We still have a connection to God through our intellect, but is flawed by existing in our physical bodies. I guess that plays in with the idea of having a body and a spirit. Like, your life is like a series of challenges to keep you from reaching the truth of the afterlife or some bullshit, I don't know. We're living in Satan's world right now. Was Jesus flawed by being a man even though he was born of a virgin? Isn't Jesus God though? Was Jesus flawed by being a man even though he was born a virgin? He was not born of a virgin. I'm not hearing any of this. And it wouldn't matter if he were. Lucifer was a rebellious splinter of God's will. The Christ appeared when God willed his divine intellect into Jesus. But you said that physical bodies were all corrupt. Yes, but while we are the heirs of Lucifer's rebellious intellect, Christ received wisdom from the light of God himself. He did truly die and was truly resurrected in body. But his reappearance was only important for him to convey the message of salvation to the people. In truth, resurrection is always happening, since if we die without grace, our souls are condemned to be reborn. This physical world is the only hell we know, living again, and only torment. But how do we escape it? Regular prayers, abstination from material desires, sublimation, and elimination of want. That just sounds like being a monk. No, priests and monks both are corrupt agents of business of the church. They have taken the simplicity of holy devotion and preferred it with pageantry. Yeah, and that's true. How are they just gonna flaunt that they're better Christians than us by just living for free like it's sloth dog? I know they do work there, but you know what I mean. The saints too, all this talk of Maurice and Santa or miracles, they're just stories. The church has led people astray, but the hope of people in meaningless rituals, faith, and relics. And interesting ideas, Valslav. I'm glad you think so. I've spent a lifetime thinking about them. Anyways, thank you for indulging me, Magdalene. Hey, yeah, that's the issue. You just thought of them, bro. Like, you're, like, writing fantasy, dog. Like, did you have divine intervention like any of the people in the book, dog? Like, you just came up with this shit. Of course. Go later. We actually came to talk to Smokey. Good day, Mr. Struckern. I've told you, Smokey, call me Magdalene. Old habits, suppose. What brings you to my corner of the woods? More gossip? Only ancient gossip. I was wondering if you knew anything about the old pagan and Roman ruins. The mines? It's a new interest of yours, Magdalene? I don't see the townsfolk, trek out there as much anymore. Last I saw, there were those two twins making trouble. They know a way in, but I'll be damned if they ever set foot close to that place. What are you so interested in over there? The mural in our house needs a section about the earliest days of tasting. The mines are the oldest part of tasting, and you keep a keen ear. I thought you might have heard something. I don't know about getting down in the mines, but I know a fair few stories about them and the Roman ruins around here. The old stories my father used to tell me when he was a burner of tasting. The one about Mars and Tassia, the nymph, who always my favorite, though I claimed that in my youth. Tassia, like tasting? Mm-hmm. Folk named the town after a pagan god, a Roman one at that. I don't mind telling you the tale, Magdalene, but I warn you, it's a bit, bawdy. Oh, call me curious. Ha! I won't be scandalizing you. Can't have your father hounding me over any coarseness. I'll tell the decent bits of what I remember. Everyone excludes me from the fun. You'll have your fun time, Magdalene. You just wait and see. Alright, so sorry. All legend says that Mars was hunting in these woods and spied a fat boar for the taking. He just pulled back his spear when he heard a woman scream in terror. Of course, the creature ran off, and the god was angry at the loss of his quarry. So he trampled through the woods to see why the woman was in the forest and not in the local town. How would a god be hunting Tasing's forest? Mars is Ares, BT dub, god of war. Famous for his spear. How should I know? Maybe I just wanted to be a brisk walk. Besides, why should anything the gods do make sense? These were the old days when spirits and ghosts prowled. What do you mean prowled? Prowled, you know, like spirits and other evil things do. You can't just say they walked through the woods like you or me. They prowled. Alright, keep going. So Mars found the nymph Tassia bathing in the spring with a fat, ugly satyr goading her from the shore. Enraged at seeing the trapped nymph, Mars transformed into a wolf and slew the satyr. And in return, well, she sucked his cock. Tassia bathed the god. Heh. I get a bathe. I did warn you, Magdalene. When Mars left the pool, he dripped onto the ground and was blossomed with flowers and crops. They say this is why this valley is so fertile. But he made the grove that Artemis looks over by having a sexy bath with a nymph. We've been growing crops here for generations. People would want a reason for that, even if it was the gods. However, the reason Tasing's been blessed with the fertile ground for hundreds of years. So much of what the Romans left behind was destroyed over the years, but I like that we still have the tales. You can never really destroy stories as long as there are people to tell them. Of course, the Romans left a hell of a lot behind too. The town's more Roman than Bavarian, really. And we're part of the Holy Roman Empire. Aha, that we are, and not for a lack of trying. Tasing is actually much smaller now than it was in Roman's day. At least that's what I make of it. The ruins deep in the forest all the way to the old mine. Half of Tasing is built on Roman stone. Take a walk around town and you'll start noticing things. We used their stone to build. The old temple by Stadia's shrine have grown over, but the aqueduct runs for miles. Even the abbey used to be an old Roman fort. You can see some of the Roman paved stones under the road if you look hard. May not be Roman, but this town is. Tasing's been building upon itself for hundreds of years. What a beautiful idea. That's the way things. Most people don't notice the old stones. Too busy in town to notice what's right in front of their eyes. Maybe you should take a look at the mine and get a better sense of what things are actually like. Nothing will stop you. Well, see, well, I won't either. Just keep an eye out for any wolves or satyrs you might see down there. Well, you know, if I see any, thanks for the help. Good luck, Madeline. Be safe. Hey, everybody seems to insist that this, like, fertile valley is the result of some kind of divine intervention. Hey Magdalene, what's up? Can you show me how Artemis gets in the salt mine? Or you and Artemis get into the salt mine? My, it's all gross and creepy. I need to get down there and see what the pagans and Romans left behind. Any references from a mural? Oh, the mural. I would ask Artemis about that. She's pretty protective of the mine. Alright, I'll go find her. Sorry, Magdalene. If she says yes, so I'll show you later. I'm doing her anyways. Over frogs. Artemis says she saw one the other day. We were trying to collect a bunch. Frogs don't come out this time of year. Now you know. Artemis says she saw one. Probably a toad. They don't. Hilgard says they're cold wet creatures. They won't be out in autumn. Maybe that's why I only have one. I need frogs for. I can tell you, you'll snitch. I won't. Yeah, right. Sorry, Mags. I'm not telling you. You just have to wait and see. Or ask Artemis. Maybe she'll tell you. Fine, I'll talk to your sister. Be careful, you already had to go to confession this year. Oh, we know. Yeah, you can't go to the aqueduct either. Sadia. AKA Artemis. Funny seeing you here. Hey Magdalene, do you need something? I'm a little busy right now. Okay, so like what if Saint Maurice, right, he was a soldier or some kind of Roman general, was actually Ares, and the nymph that he slept with was Saint Sadia, Artemis, Tasia, whatever, like Tasia, Sadia. You see where that connection's made. Ares fucked Artemis, and there you go. All three stories came together. Fertile Valley. Fertilize the Valley, aka sex joke. Still catching frogs? Yeah, Apollo, he can't keep his fat mouth shut. What do you want, Magdalene? Let's see what the forefathers and Romans left behind for the mural. Mural? You want to use secret hideout for your mural? Secret hideout? Everybody knows it's too high down there. Yeah, they don't know how to climb down there, do they? It's secret enough. Why should I show you how to get in? Because we're friends? You told my mother when I cut my hair so I didn't have to wear braids 5 years ago. I still hold that grudge. Look, I'll show you how to get into the mine on one condition. You help Apollo and me with our next prank. Not telling, no snitching, no questions asked. Fine, tell me what you're up to. Father Thomas has been droning on and on about the plagues of Egypt, right? Paul and I are collecting frogs in the tabernacle when Father Thomas opens it on Sunday. Frogs will go everywhere. Why in the world do you want to do that? Father Thomas keeps saying Apollo and I are on the path of rebellious Egyptians with frogs and locusts. We're gonna prove them right and summon a bunch of frogs en masse. What do you want me to do? We stole the tabernacle key, but we need to put it back before he notices. You want me to put the key back? Precisely. Look, we stole the key early to make sure it was the right one. We'll steal it again once we actually stuff the frogs in there, but in the meantime, it needs to go back. I need you to replace the key in the church. On the altar in the church. Apollo and I would attract too much attention, but you're the town's goody-goody. Not that bad, am I? Well, not entirely. It's not your fault. Oh, it's moon's over you. The council lets you get away with anything. Anyway, will you do it? I'll get you into the mine if you do. Alright, give me the key. Guns are always common color. This prank seems harmless. Father telling us we'll be missing his key too. Going along with this can't cause too much trouble, can it? Alright, give me the key. Perfect, good luck. Let me know when it's done. Didn't I get... Someone promised me one of these two twins would help me out. Blacktill's grandfather read about tastings. Maybe he made his furniture and... No. I don't know, this is bullshit. I feel like their dad should just make them show me. Hey, a boar? Must have broke out his pen. I wonder who it belongs to. I want to depict a mural as accurately as possible. I have to go down a shaft myself. The entrance is steep. No one's used it in years. Must have some way to get down there. Probably climb down even if it looks dangerous. Rigged up a rope to the top beams to be able to get down more easily. Yeah. Baltus might have some tools. I can help find a way to get down there. Apollo and Artemis are always bragging about how they sneak around the ruins. Maybe we can ask them that. Yeah. I'll come back later. I already agreed to help them, plus this might be funny, so... Alright, who's got pigs? Big guy before Tower Thomas comes back. I'll let Artemis know and return the key to. Ooh. Y'all got pigs? Y'all got pigs? Y'all got pigs? No. Alright. I haven't actually been up to the Abbey. I'm curious what's up there. I got pigs. Hey, Magdalene. I heard what happened to your dad. Everybody's got to talk about my damn dad. He suffered a severe blow to the head. I'm worried, to say the least. And sends regards. Bauer household is praying for swift recovery. Thank you, Hans, and you as well. There's beans again. I will. Klaus has always been such a bedrock of tasing. I'd hate for him to die. It would be, sorry. That's fine. I fear it as well. It's best not to ignore one's fears. Do you miss your father? For real one, I mean? I do. Do I miss him? Kinda. I don't remember Joseph all that well. They become a haze of sorts, a faint echo of feeling and occasional emotion. I was so young when he got killed. Mom said he had trouble understanding what had happened for a long time. I understand, Mom. She's an empty hole in my life. I have nothing of her. Yeah, you never even got to see her, right? Not even a memory, huh? Suppose you have yourself for comparison. God molded you after her. I can't imagine how she could have been like stubborn and unruly, yeah. I know if I'm actually like her, all I have are stories from people. Well, you read books, don't you? Stories are about things that are true. Books are stories about a lot of things. No, I can't read it anyway. But you want to learn? Don't have time. Work on the farm never ends, especially with the taxes eating at us. Anyway, winter draws closer, so I got a lot of preparation to take care of. To the old class cover soon. God look after you both. Till later, Simon. But what about the pigs? The Gertners got pigs because of the wall that always breaks down. But Jorg. Who's pig? Magdalene, how are the hinges on your doors? Fine, I guess. Maybe Andrew should take a look at them. I would have asked your father, but well. Anyway, you wouldn't believe how many people in this town have their hinges to rust. Need their hinges to rust. That's something the council's worried about? Yeah, you must be talking about the home inspections. Oh, Dad always taught me to keep the house in good repair if we can afford it. Now Paul would like to institute a yearly check on all homes and tasing. What do you think of the idea, Georg? Well, it's not a bad thing, but I don't see why we need to make it official. Everyone in tasting helps each other, as I see it. If someone notices a house in disrepair, we all pitch in to fix it. Doing anything else would be unchristian. You got like a half-official roof, dog. What's up with that? Or is that supposed to be like rotted wheat, like it needs to be repaired? But if Paul wants to see it through, I'm happy to go along with it. Makes me feel useful, you know? Speaking of, I better get back to work. Nice to chat with you, Magna. See you later, Georg. Right. This is my excuse to talk to Ursula. If they have sheep up there, I don't know about pigs. cows. Great, yeah, I guess nobody lost a damn pig. Must be symbolic pig. Doesn't Ares appear as a boar sometimes? Spirit. Artemis is the wolf, Ares is the boar. What's her face? Athena's an owl. Probably come here more when we learn about the town or the history of the abbey, yeah. Look at that, St. Maurice, for the famous spear. And he's got Andreas's hat. Yeah, he's Ares, bro. The church itself is gone, you can't even go in. All that's left is a little covenant, so there's nuns here, but nothing else. Brothers are left. Son of Mousefinger. And son of Mousefinger. You're gonna teach him how to get pissed. Wholesome, I love that for him. I think it's really weird how a lot of people just have their pets like go outside and get pregnant. Like they cast out their horn and shit. And obviously most pets are like neutered when you buy them from the store already, but I've never had any of my pets like even interact with other animals like that. Like I had male and female cats before and they just like they're friends. They never really tried to fuck. Hey Mags, how's your errand going? I did, let's keep your father Thomas to find it. Brilliant! Like friend George. Alright, as promised, I'll show you how to get into the shrine. Come on, follow me. Are you sure you want to do this, Magdalene? There's some creepy things down there. Who knows how many people have died in those mines. It's probably haunted. You should back out now. Oh, you still can. Hey, don't scare me, I'm going in. Alright, we can't blame us if Ghost gets you. It looks like she's floating, dog. Like, move her sprite back some. You were warned. You know why? It's not that bad as long as you know where to put your feet. We do it all the time. Come on, let's get on with it. I don't want to get any trouble again. Fine. Start with your feet on the inner ledge, Magdalene, and look for the ledges that look like shelves. Alright, here he goes. Don't forget to move your hands down for your feet so you don't slip. Hike your skirt a little so you don't get it caught too. It's easier that way. Wait, the missing rung! Oh right, there's a missing rung near the bottom. Watch your step or you'll fall. Like this idiot. Why do you have to say that? Why do you always have to embarrass me? Alright, I got it, thanks. hell do I get out? Do I have to, like, fucking wall jump from the ladder, bro? Yeah, I would have been better off setting up a rig. I did it, and at the bottom. Good job, Magdalene. Good luck doing whatever you're doing down there. Hope you don't die, Magdalene. Climbing out might be trickier. Oh well, time to take a look around. Hey, lantern, fuck yeah. It's free. Divine intervention. A lot of different coins down there. How odd. It's not like this Saints Well. Oh, a tablet. There's still writing on it. Maybe someone like tossed stolen money and like thought they could pick it up later, but they're like, oh fuck. Oh, it's a poem. I think it's a love note. Rising position. What? Or Jay, hope her lover's better at things than writing poetry. Rising position. Dick joke. This looks like a larger version of some of Baltus' contraptions. This winch must have been attached to some sort of hurling pulley system. Fascinating. Yeah, that sounds pretty advanced. Looks like a drill to me. Oh, bones far too big to be human. No horns, looks like a mule to me. Maybe all of that winch or creature dying down here. And I must have scared Apollo so much. A piece of pottery, it's beautiful. Ah, these must be the same kind of figurines Till and the others find in their fields. I think there are so many remnants of our ancestors scattered around in the caves like this. Yeah, why are they making art in the mine? That's just a little strange. Another pottery piece. Maybe I can reassemble a whole pot if I find enough of these. Shard. Another piece. Wonder if they're all in the same spot. Probably an achievement for it, right? Another shard. Oh, another piece of candy. Latin inscription here. Fucking read it. That's something about Tassia. Yo, is that St. Maurice? Like a big man stand on the waves holding a knife and a torch. Who's drawing this crap? What the hell? Yeah, there he is. Oh, it looks like a Roman map of tasing. I wonder what's changed. Let's see if I can help everything. If I can map everything out. There's an aqueduct. I see, on the left. So that fort at the top is the abbey. Ashram. Salt mine. Mithravam. I guess that's the town. Same spot as it was. Aqueduct in the spring. The abbey was an old fort on the hill, and there is the rest of the town. Wait, what's this building? I don't recognize it. Mytharium. I don't know that word. Mithraeum. I mean, it has myth in it, right? Maybe that's their temple. That is about where the church should be, right? Like, it's above the main town. A bit off to the side, right? Opvim was covered up by the text box. That looks like the actual living part. And what's the picture, though? It's like a train track? Maybe it's kind of highway? I don't know. Didn't quite tell what it's meant to label on the map. Maybe some sort of temple? Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking. Oh, whatever, it's not in tasing now. It's a church now. Same deal. Replaced the pagan temple with a Christian one. Makes sense. It's odd. Because they burned it down for being heretical, bro. Another inscription that's not very formal. A worker must have carved it. It said they use the pagan stone for a lot of things. The church has a stone foundation, doesn't it? There's that word again, Mithrium. It must have been important to the Romans. Piece looks like it matches the other pieces I found. Wow. Oh, this looks like an altar, but what would an altar be doing in a salt mine? It's even carved out of salt. Maybe that's what all these pots and figures are. They're offerings. What would an altar be doing in a salt mine? It's even carved out of the salt. Sacred stone that tastes very good. This is all salt. That salt's like white. And it looks kind of like a tooth even. There's another piece. Cave in the wood here most looks newer than the first part of the mine. This collapse recent. Is that all there is? There's a clear path through this mine, but I don't want to miss anything. Like, this looks like a way down. I didn't go down. Like, there you go. Pot. Pottery scattered everywhere. I have a lot of these pottery pieces. I should find out if they're from the same pot. Oh, yeah. I love this. Puzzle. Yeah, I don't know. Gotta start somewhere, so that first piece is just a reference. That looks like it goes like on the corner there, yeah. And does that? No. I don't know, man. I wonder if they like stay permanently joined when I get them right, yeah. Something like that, yeah. Damn, no, fuck. And it totally goes right there. Like, look, do you see it? I actually don't see it anymore, fuck. I should focus on something like the leg, right? That has to belong to a person, so let's find the other leg. Like that. Call me Nelson Tethers, because I'm a puzzle agent. Let's go right there. Looks like one of Psychic Double's characters. Some kind of spirit. Portrait of a man who got stabbed. I'm not sure where this man would belong. I see, like, the bottom part of this, though. So maybe, like, at the end there. So this is likely upside down, right? Like, that's actually the floor, and there you go. Bam. And this, I think, fits right here. Perfect. This might be here or the other side, but it's kind of the right shape. Nah. Not much of a pot, is it? It's just like a plate. And it's the head of this guy. And that bloke. This is the dead man. And he's got some sticking out of his chest there. Oh, he's holding the knife. Fucked up. Alright, there's this knife holding arm. And some kind of lady praying to him. The god, perhaps? Is that Ares? I don't know what to do with this piece yet. I don't know, maybe. Somewhere. Goes up here since there's other deer, and like it looks like a corner piece, doesn't it? Like, that triangle piece looks like it would fit in here. Like, what the hell am I seeing? It's hair. Ah, there's the head. Hard to start, but we got into a flow, right? Nah, other side. Hold on. Goes in here. Fuck. 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 Shit. There. Got it. What we got here is like a guy killing people, and there's a dead man there. Is that the same guy? Did he stab himself? I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Was he told that he was gonna get himself killed? As like a Christmas story, like, you'll poke your eye out, kid. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna go kill these animals. And then fucking stabbed himself. And you're like, hey. Figures on his pot would look like you're telling a story. Paintings must depict an early myth, even before the Romans. Let's see, this must be Perkta, and those must be forest spirits, part of the well done. Oh, yeah, I can see that. Next part looks like a human sacrifice. Yeah, it sure does. Someone, maybe a chieftain, is sacrificing a man to Perkta. Bomb after the live continues the story. I see, so he is killing a man. That's not him, it's just a generic looking man. These look like spirits that must be coming to feast on the sacrifice. Must be how the ancestors tried to keep tasing safe after sacrifices to Perkta. I think that our ancestors made this, and I'm holding it now. Maybe this is what I can paint on the mural. I don't think these matter. Like, I'm just saying, yeah, maybe, and then just give me options later. I have to think about it before I decide for certain. Everybody knows that this town has pagan roots. They talk about it. I don't know that they want to see it depicted, but, like, talking about the early days, like, it's important, right? Oh, they're more concerned about, like, St. Maurice, you know? Like, the stories all seem very similar. Gotta be some compromise. Alright, I better keep going before I run my oil on lamp. Maybe I paint that picture and then show St. Maurice, like, stabbing the guy doing the sacrifice. Or Latin writing. Won't be able to go any further with all the rubble, I suppose, as far as I can go. Still, murals on the wall shows me what tasting was like when Romans were here. Wonder if I can find out where this myth room was, or what it is. Putting the pottery shard back together show me the earliest stories in tasting. I think I've seen everything I can down here, and my oil's running out. Time to climb back out. It's 100% the church. No doubt. Someone try and kill me, bruv. Ah! Wait, who was that? Hello, someone there? Had a beard. Better, yeah, a shaft before another rock comes crashing down. God, was it Smokey? Was the whole thing Smokey? Nah, there could be multiple beard men. Everyone in this town's old now, that's the thing. We know it's a man, at least. Who was that? Yeah, Paul and Artemis would have helped me out of here. Well, now that I have more information, I can make some decisions in the first section of the mural. I should get back to Raz to get to work. It's him! Maybe. Holler. You! Yeah? I'm Holler Bromt, the Lord's gamekeeper. Why are you grazing pigs in the woods? Well. I'm not. It's not my pig. I've been walking around this forest for hours. Other than charcoal burner and a tinker, you're the only other person I've seen. Pig doesn't belong to you. What are you doing here? The people who just eat acorns like that, like, I know some people like bake it into bread, but like eating raw acorns. I was in the soul mine. Doing what? Man, I don't care, just tell me whose pig this is. I don't know, a pig was in the woods when I came in here. Ah, mysterious lost pig. Who apparently belongs to no one. I suppose so. Bro! Find any more pigs in the woods, I'll kill them on the spot. And those brought them here. You understand? Yeah? Good. Find your neighbors what happens when they break the Lord's laws. The Lord's men patrol these woods. I've never seen one before. I didn't realize they were so strict. Suppose I should consider myself lucky. Anyway, it's time to get out of these woods and back to the rat house. Oh, bro, he knocked its fucking lights out. Yeah, pigs are dangerous. People don't realize that it's the same animal as a boar, just shaved and without tusks, but that's a very wild-looking pig, if you ask me, so I think the difference is pretty clear there. So not only is it incredibly dangerous, but like it fucks up the whole environment too. It's not good to have public spaces like this. Where the hell did you go? Hey, Magdalene. Hey, Paul, Artemis said you catch frogs. Yeah, what about it? Just thought you might want to know if our Thomas usually out around midday. You can sneak in the church then. Oh, thanks, Mag. I'll let Artemis know. She's the one setting up that part of the plan. Good luck. Thanks. Bitch, why you left me? I don't know. Maybe that was the gamekeeper who was trying to kill me. He's just like, yo, fuck that person. Because nobody should be in the mine, right? Like, I'm probably up to no good down there. But we'll see. Definitely did look like him. Like, I doubt that was the actual murder person. Right, the building. It has to be the church, right? Maybe I can, like, investigate the stone or something, or talk to Thomas, even. Perhaps it's not the church. Could it be my house? Whatever it is, it's somewhere north of the town, right? Thought I saw Klaus for a minute. Stonemasons would know. I can ask the wife. No. Should know about any stonework that's been done in recent years, yeah. Also saw an ancient map of tasing carved in the walls of the mine. There was a building on the map labeled Mitharum. Not sure what it means, and I can't really figure out where it would be in our town today. Anyways, I can't use that part in the mural, it's just odd. Alright, well... there's nothing I can see. Like, I feel like Smokey maybe hinted at it. It's saying that, like, you know, the stone was used everywhere in the town. People don't notice what's right in front of them. I suppose it could be here. Like, that's a solid stone foundation. Carpenters might know something about the construction, at least. Yeah, I went to mural, huh? I didn't expect you to convince the council like that. I expected the town to pay half of it like you to the council, so I guess we're all disappointed. Jesus, Mags, I mean, as a compliment. The rest of the council has been arguing over the matter for so long I couldn't get a word in. Then you come and shut them up in a few minutes. We could use more women like you in town. Plenty of opinionated women in town. Well, let's join the council. Yeah, well, you'd have to take it up with the Lord. Besides, I don't think any of them are as hard-headed as you. You're the exception, Magdalene. You always are. Oh, you forgot my Agnes. She doesn't suffer fools gladly. That's not what I meant. She's not... Oh, never mind. Forget about it. And trying to compliment me. Anyway, standing up to the council like that was great. I know I'm on the council, but sometimes it doesn't seem like I have any influence. I think it's been going a while, yeah, damn 3 hours. I wanted to try and get through this first part, like I feel like we're gonna have 3 days painting this mural, yeah. You're the youngest member of the council. The others have much more life experience. Yeah, so how am I supposed to gain experience if I'm not involved in making decisions? Being the youngest one in the council has been harder than I thought. I know Baltus and Werner don't think I'm capable, and even Paul warned me about being too rash. My dad trying to make a difference in this town. All I'm trying to do is carry on his legacy, but it seems like the others won't make a row for any change. Won't make room. You sound like my dad. He always said the council is too scared of doing anything important. Dad's right. They're all old and cowardly, I guess they just want to live in peace, but I want something more. I want to make a difference like my dad did. Oh well, better get back to it. See you later, Mags. I'll move on. Back to the upper part of town. Unless I haven't been able to read that book yet, would that help me? Can I read the book? Brigida gave me a copy of Historia, man. Martin had stolen Baron Visit tasting. He was nervous, but eventually let me keep the book. I should sit down and read it thoroughly. Perhaps I'll learn something for the mural. How do I read the book? Well, I'm willing to look that up because I went through the trouble of getting the damn book. Pentiment, how to read Historia. How do I read the book? You read it in the November segment, Act 3, when Magdalene starts on the early Christian segment. The mural will open to give information. Important have condition. Alright. They didn't tell me how to read it, though. They just said that it happens. Like, do I just go and paint and you'll read it anyways? Anyone else who stumbles on this down the road, it turns out you have to click the desk where the hover text says write, which is not all that intuitive for progressing the plot. I suppose I'll read it at night, perhaps. But it would be at this desk, I suppose. Maybe I wasted too much time and I'm unable to read it now. This says that it's difficult to read, even if you have the polyglot skill, and like no one else is able to really translate either, so it's kind of a dead end, but still, I feel like I should have followed up on that. Unless this is the desk. Work on mural. No. Yeah, alright. All I did was plaster up the walls, really, and paint none yet. Now the mural's coming along. Christ's sake, Hots. What? How many times do I have to tell you? Use my proper name. Alright, sorry. Anyways, Magdalene, how the mural's going? Doesn't look like much yet. Jesus Christ. No work of art appears significant at the start. You think Michelangelo was born a great sculptor? Oh, it's not. So, Magnoliangelo. What are you doing? Alright, you fuck. That one was good. I only just finished printing the wall. Yeah, printing the wall. Now I have to decide what to depict. What? So use wallpaper? Is that what I'm looking at? Like they made sticky paper and put it right on the wall? It's hard to piece together the history of tasing when it happened so long ago. Since the Abbey Library burned, I can only rely on stories people around tasing. I can find out about the Romans and pagans so it's obscure. I had to go into the old salt mine to find anything. At least now I know what to paint for the first part of the mural. Oh, what is it? Use the pottery and tools the farmers have found, showing how we lived before the Romans. Smokey told me about the story of gods, Mars, Wolf, and Nastasia. How the spring was blessed. I don't think anybody wants to see pagan gods. Showing they're living sounds innocent enough, right? Old Peter remembered a legend about the chieftain Rudis who healed the wolf that led him to a spring. I'll create an image I found in the mine. It showed the ancestors made human sacrifices to appease Persia and the spirits. Sounds a little boring in comparison. I like the mysticism, but like that won't blow over well in a Christian society, would it? Though, like, it would be good to, like, depict him as being savage, right? In a mural, though? I don't know. It's mysticism. Yeah, fuck it. Human sacrifice, yeah. I think it's a bit much. I don't know what the rest of the town will take it. It'll show that they were fucking savages, and Christianity brought the light. Especially Father Thomas. What made you choose this story anyways? I don't think we should hide our pagan past. This is what our people did. I think the pottery found is a better source than stories that have been passed down by mouth. I think I will make for the most beautiful artwork. I guess that's true. Still, I think it will shock some people. Or it should be shocking. Especially Father Thomas. Thanks for explaining it. Of course, I want you all to understand why I'm making these choices. Well, now I've figured this position of the mural out, I better start thinking about the next section. I'll leave you to it, Mags. Magdalene. Good night, odds. Good night, Magdalene and Angelo. Now I decided how to pick Tasting's earliest history, I should decide how to paint Kirisu's history. Mother Illuminata's letter mentioned that Matthew Fonseca used to be a brother in Kirisu. She said he knew a great deal about the Abbey's history. I should write him and ask him what he remembers. Oh, and I have Esther's letters to answer too. I should write them both now before bed. Oh, before I write, I should read that old book Rita gave me. Jesus Christ, there's a lot. And I'll learn something permanent in the minerals. Alright, we're gonna do this, and then we'll, like, end it before we go to the bed. Alright, where to begin? Right, the old book, it was Baron's before Martin stole it. Can't make much out of it. Not as much harder than I'm used to. Book isn't in great shape either, since it's been staying in the farm's house. I wonder if I'm gonna get, like, burned as a witch for this, actually. Fuck. I forgot that I'm a woman. Let's see. Here's a section about the various dedications erected in the town that might be easier to read. Ergo simulacrum in Argus ut Mars nostrum consprita. So what? Some kind of temple to Ares, who allegedly founded this area. Dedication to Mars, the blessed field. Take Diana, Los Synchronidipus. It talks about Diana wetting herself, bathing in a spring, maybe. Yep. That story. It's hard. Let us pray so that he really may defend the town. None of this really makes any sense. Maybe someone better Latin than me can help me read it. The book is so big, though, it would be a lot of work. Got Sister Gertrude or Baltus for help. One or two. He's much better at Latin than anyone in town. I don't know why I, like, need to follow this. Like, I just decided on the early part of the mural, like, I feel like I should maybe change it to the story of Ares and the Nymph, if that's, like, what's written in the book, but the book's just another story. Maybe Father Thomas, even though he did warn me not to bother him with secular books. Chances are slim they could help, but it might be worth asking about. Finish writing my letters, and I guess Baltus has the best opinion of me. Lord Illuminati told me Matthew knew some of the Abbey's early history. There's Archdeacon of Sion now. I could write him before the snow comes. I'll write to Esther too. Let's give him his current title, I guess. My name is Magdalene Drucker. I'm the daughter of Tasting Stoutenburg Klaus. Father and I are creating a mural for Tasing Rat House. He wanted to show the history of the town and Abbey. I heard you were the sacristan at Kirisu and knew a great deal about the Abbey's early history. I understand you're a busy man, but we'd be most appreciative of any information you can give us. You know, any other places where you might learn about the Abbey's history, we'd appreciate it. I know it may be small comfort to many in tasting regret what happened during the revolt. Sister Gertrude is still here with the poor Clares. She speaks fondly of the old abbey. Thank you for your help, Magdalene. Esther, please forgive me for not writing sooner. So much has happened since I last wrote. Even as my last letter was en route to you, Dad was attacked in a workshop in the middle of the night. He survived, thank God, but his injuries are terrible. I worry about him. He's so dizzy he can't get out of bed. Some days his eyes become foggy, his memory fails him. Dr. Stoll said that he's not going to recover. It's a matter of time before he succumbs to injury. I don't want to believe it, but it's hard to argue with Dad's condition. I had no idea he could have wanted to attack my father or why. I found a note on him. Talk. All it said was stop. It wasn't from the shop because the script was written in the most elaborate hand I've ever seen. No one tasting has such skill in script as far as I know. Anyways, I don't have time to wonder about it. I've had my hands full running the workshop alone while tending to Dad. What's more, as town council intended to cancel the mural entirely. Well, someone broke into the house. Should we really be staying here? I had a hell of a time convincing them to let me paint it instead. They made a fuss about being too young, not experienced enough, not strong enough to be on scaffold. You know how it is. I suppose I shouldn't have expected any better of them. Working on the mural has been a welcome distraction from the naysayers and my chores. I'm worrying about Dad. Knots has been coming over under the presence of helping me to prepare paints too. Pretense. Now I should stop. He's not subtle and his flirting's annoying. I like to have the whole mural finished by Christmas if I can. I just want to finish in time for Dad to see it. I would mean so much to him. Dr. Stolz is right. I don't know how long I'll have. Hope you're faring better than we are here. All my love, Agna. Yeah, I mean, you know, it would be cute to let this thoughts thing go through, but, like, yeah, he's kind of a fuckboy, in my impression, bro. Like, no respect. Middle of the night, right? I can't just go out. Alright, alright. So, that's all we're gonna do here. Do I have anything in my talk about? Like, this went kind of long. Kind of like 2 is like starting to fade from my memory though. It's somewhat longer, but I mean it's a sequel, so it's my usual thing where I'm like, yeah, it's a lot like the first game, you know. Why am I? Dying Light 2. Okay, so I quite like the first Dying Light. This is from Techland. It was like a sort of spiritual sequel to Dead Island. It was just like, it still had the crazy weapons, but the story is more serious and had some awesome parkour. And the story wasn't anything to write home about. It was pretty, like, simple. You were like some agent from like a world relief effort, I guess. Like, There's a zombie outbreak in this town, and some warlord took advantage of it to like make nuclear weapons and shit to seize power and whatnot. You were sent in to stop him, but you pretty quickly fuck up and get bit. So now you're like figuring out how to survive while also trying to complete your mission. And I don't know. The warlord was like some knockoff Vaz from Far Cry 3, and people didn't like him. The game ends in like a shitty drug trip and then a QTE cutscene. It was like kind of lame, but the game itself was pretty fun. Parkour is really satisfying, and like the kills are visceral. You got guns occasionally, but those are like more or less removed in the second game. And I didn't play The Following, but The Following has a much better story. Like, I looked up what happened in it, at least. This game still gets regular content updates, like today, I think. So there's a lot of post-game content. There's a canceled game called Hellraid that looked like some kind of first-person RPG hack and slash thing. Like, it looked really awesome, and went to dev hell. It's still, like, delisted on Steam, but I had it on my wish list to, like, show that it was there at the time. I think I got rid of it recently, but that got patched in as like a haunted Satan arcade machine. So, you know, it's cool. I just wanted to shout out, like, this was a good game. It got a lot of post-game support. The story wasn't anything crazy, but, you know, I was expecting good things from the second game, too. And when they announced it, they showed this was even more serious. This is the second zombie outbreak. Like, they cured it the first time, but then, some lab was doing like gain of function type experiments with the zombie virus, the Huron virus. It's HSV, something like that. Like they're THV, the Huron virus, right? Those chemicals are spread all over the city. So if you're wondering what that means, it's the Huron virus. Anyways, they were doing like gain of function experiments, and the disease got back out. Then that's all they tell you. There's a new game coming out called The Beast, which I don't know, you saw it announced on the other page. Yeah, The Beast. This is a sequel where you still play the character from this game, so you don't need to know what happens. But if you're playing this, then you do, I think. Like, one of the endings of The Following is canon, but the next game is so far in the future that you do not need to have played this. Though if you do, you can get a lot out of it. Like, I think the story in this game kind of sucks, actually. I really didn't like it. Like, I didn't feel like most of my choices mattered. I kind of hate all the outcomes because, let's use Act 1, for example. You're doing an investigation into someone who murdered a peacekeeper leader, and, you know, they think it's the survivors, so you go and join survivors, you do some missions for them, and then you have to pick a side. You keep with your mission and not trust the survivors because somebody framed them, and find evidence that one of them allegedly killed the peacekeeper guy, or do you stick with the survivors because they're just good people and they're not abusing their power? And you know, the survivors are like really scummy though. Like, you don't want to hurt all survivors, but the particular group you're with is like so shit. And the peacekeepers are seemingly doing alright. I thought for most of the game they were doing alright, but then you meet their leader and he is kind of abusing his power. And when you look into the story through like audio logs, you find out that there's actually a lot that happened in the whole build up of this game. What was his name? Gaming Harry, I think his name was, did like a great video on all of the audio log story and the whole past of the city. It's actually very interesting, a much better story than what you get to play through. But it also adds a lot of context to the characters that are just kind of flat when you don't know anything about them. So, like, I'd say exploring is rewarding in that sense, but kind of like Bioshock, they don't do, like, the audio logs while you're walking around. You know, Bioshock kind of pioneered that. Instead, you have to sit there in the menu, and you don't really want to do that. That's not fun, especially when your meters still go down. So, like, if you're in the middle of the night, you can't sit there in your menu. You're going to be losing resilience, because you have infection in this game, too. The new version of the THV, like, got spread all over the city, and now everybody has it. But it's because it's based on Kyle Crane. That's what the Beast is about. He got captured, and they made a new virus out of what special situation he was in. everybody has like conditions similar to his, where he remains his humanity. He retains his humanity while he's in UV light, which comes from the sun, or literal purple lights. So, Jesus, what am I saying? Yeah, being out at night sucks, basically. It's worse than in the previous game. Because before, it was just, like, dangerous. Now, you have, like, a breath meter when you're out in the night before you turn viral. And you can expand it by doing, like, the Breath of the Wild upgrade system. You find inhibitors, you collect, like, 3 of them, and you get an upgrade to your health or stamina. So you're shit at the beginning, and it's, like, unreasonably hard. And you can get, like, somewhat competent later. And every few levels of those will increase... No. Unlocking skills in your parkour or combat skill trees, which gain experience separately. Gaining levels in those will increase your overall survivor rank, which will let you find stronger gear. So, like, the game really starts aggressively hard because you're stuck with such shit. Even, like, when you find a gold weapon and it's, like, rank 1, you'll just end up never using it because you'll quickly find something better in the beginning. Just because, like, the rank 2 stuff, even if it's great, is just way better. I think that the weapons all break too fast, as there is a durability system. Really frustrating. Because the game had post-game support, this is Reloaded Edition. They added in, like, a side quest chain that brings guns back into the game. And there's also, like, challenge posters you can do that are just do, like, kind of like the Mercenaries mode from Resident Evil. It's very similar to Resident Evil 4, actually, where you, like, use the gun to kind of stun people and then use a parkour attack to, like, kick their head off or something awesome. The guns are actually pretty fun to play with when you get to them, though it's very late in the game when you can. There is, like, a makeshift shotgun thing you can make, like a boomstick out of scrap, but it's very expensive, and then you have to, like, farm upgrades for the blueprint. Farming upgrades is so shitty. Like, it is so necessary to dump points in your bandages or you won't get anywhere. Especially on the Nightmare mode where health regen is nullified. Just upgrading anything is super important, but they all take so many materials, and when you get the higher ends, you need, like, materials from, like, medium and large undead trophies that are just hard to get when you're on hard difficulty and everything's already difficult. Like, you only get the large undead trophies from, like, killing the virals, and those are nearly unstoppable until you get the UV flashlight. So you get towards the end of the game, like the last 10 hours or so, I'd say. I just think the pacing of that's, like, kind of bad. Structure about the same. You got, like, Act 1 and 2, where, like, you have the small city, and then you got the real city that has more mechanics. You got, like, reclaim facilities and give them to each faction. There's not enough facilities to meaningfully distribute them. Plus, I really hated all the survivor characters that I had a chance to work with, so I ended up basically just siding with the peacekeepers because they had, like, the right idea, at least, even if their leader sucked. And giving things to the faction will change what that area has, so it'll add, like, more defensive structures with the peacekeeper, like better platforming shit with the survivors, which is arguably funner, but in the case of the night being so difficult, I thought the defensive stuff was more useful. And those benefits stack every time you give them another facility, so you're better off just sticking with one, really, because that area will continually get upgrades. It will get even safer every time you give them a facility. And there's not enough in the game to, like, distribute, like, evenly. You have to basically just suck one's dick the whole game, really. Not that it matters much at all, it's just like a little blurt at the end, post-credits. Really, it's the much smaller choices that make the biggest difference and get their own cutscenes, and kind of hard to get, like, a really good ending. I don't think any of them are good considering your situation. Especially since, like, you leave no matter what, and, like, you're infected, so you're kind of fucked. Like, you're going to turn. There's other reasons to make it shitty, but, like, just thinking about the premise of the game, like, that's default. You're fucked. You need to stay in as soon as you get infected, which you weren't at the start. Anyways, Story, you're just a guy looking for his sister. You escaped from some lab where they did experiments to find a cure, I guess, and you don't remember anything. A lot of this is just like stuff hidden by trauma. Part of why they think the story is stupid. Like, you get their truth, and it's like, oh, well, I'm a fucking dumbass. All this sucks. Why are we fighting? Why is any of this happening? And I think that having some of that context from the audio logs helps a lot, but I think that most players won't bother with that, especially since exploring it was like, it's a big open city. You're not going to find everything, really. Oh boy. I played during the Christmas event. Like, I played half of this throughout the year, and then I primarily finished it, like, in December. I did most of the second act in December. So there were, like, these elf little elf zombies that I was able to dropkick. It was pretty hilarious, but they dropped gift bags full of, like, rare materials, so I'd recommend playing during an event if you're playing on the harder difficulties, because that'll, like, save you a lot of grinding. The events are fun. I guess they give you like a lot of missions. The whole city was covered in snow. There were the elf zombies, and it was cool. They patched in like a nightmare difficulty that I mentioned. It sounded like it was going to be like the real way to play, kind of like Ranger Hardcore in the Metro games. Like, it added new mechanics and stuff and got rid of others, and I thought it was just too aggressively difficult. I had a lot of frustrations towards the beginning, and towards the end, I was like somewhat okay. I was able to like cheese my way to kill a couple of virals, but like it was still very hard all the way through. I think I might have a much better time playing on normal. I tried to play this in co-op with my brother at some time because it does have co-op. We were on hard, and it was also just very frustrating in the beginning. We didn't keep playing because he got too frustrated. So I ended up finishing this alone on a new save file, but I don't know. I think that you never really get to the point where you're a freaking beast. The platforming feels good. That's an all-around upgrade. Instead of a little zip line for your grapple hook, you got like an actual swinging grapple hook that's pretty cool, even if you do get it a little too late, in my opinion. Paraglider is kind of annoying because it like rapidly consumes your stamina, and sometimes you just like plummet for no reason and fall on the ground without any stamina left. And it's shit. I don't like the paraglider as much in this game. Also requires grinding of rare materials to upgrade, kind of shitty. I don't want to play the trailer because there's a decent chance it's gonna have I Hope I'm Alive by a Metric. That's like the theme song of this game, and that would be copywritten, obviously. The dropkick's your best friend. I think it's a little too overpowered. Like, just using physics and knocking guys into spike walls or knocking them off buildings, but it ended up being like way more damage than ever just smacking a guy with my axe or my sword or whatever the hell I'm using. Like, this, it just bounces off the enemies. It feels like it does nothing, but then you dropkick them and they go woof. And they hit a wall and their head just explodes, and it's just like way more damage than anything you could ever possibly do with a weapon. So it got a little repetitive. Like, every fight, I just run in and jump, double tap, kick, and then, you know, that's all I do the whole fight. I wouldn't bother with my weapon most of the time unless I had some effect that can maybe help me out, like some ice explosion or chain lightning or something like that, you know. Occasionally helpful. I also like spammed a lot of throwing knives since they were like quick attacks, didn't take stamina, did a decent amount of damage. And they only cost like 10 scrap to make, like they're cheap. It's got the stupid Skyrim Fallout lockpicking. It's too easy. I'm so tired of that minigame. Like, maybe it is realistic, but like, it's so boring. I'm so skilled at it at this point that like leveling up or getting any perks, upgrading the lockpick blueprint, it just means nothing to me. I can do it with basic lockpicks, no problem. Mm. It sounds like I'm mostly disappointed with the game, but I see a lot of potential in it. Like, there is fun to be had, especially if you play it on a normal difficulty. I'd definitely recommend not playing the harder difficulties. But there's also a saving grace. There's an expansion that came out. It was free. It's a free patch. You don't have to buy it. Don't worry. Called Bloody Ties. And it's its own contained story, has its own world space. But you do like a bunch of like minigame challenges across the city to like get into a sort of fight club. And they got like this whole pro wrestling story going on. And then when you get to the actual fight club, there are even more fun challenges to do, all unique things. They give you like weapons with infinite durability, and they're all strong, have cool effects, and you got unique objectives to do, and it's a lot of fun, really. It's platforming challenges, combat challenges, and like mixed things with like events and stories to tell. I thought those were all really cool. There's a lot of side content in it too. And more choices too, choices that aren't as like wide sweeping as deciding the fate of the city, but you know they feel like they matter more because you can see their immediate impact, I suppose. And there's a lot of cosmetics. You can get like a lot of cool like pro wrestling costumes if you're into that kind of thing. Not that matters much in a first-person game, but if you're playing multiplayer, I imagine that can be some fun. So yeah, Bloody Ties was a lot of fun, and that's like a pretty lengthy expansion too. There was maybe like 20 hours of content there if you're trying to do everything, maybe more. So, like, I'd say that's worth the price of entry at least. Game goes on sale all the time. So honestly, considering that's like free, that's technically a part of the game now. I'm reviewing the Reloaded edition, not the main game, which is completely different game, right? I forgot to mention that the virals, there used to be no zombies in this game. Not no zombies, but barely any, right? It was a big complaint of people when the game came out, and the virals specifically were just never around. Now they are fucking everywhere. You can't take 2 steps without finding one when you walk around at night, and they will just fucking one-tap you. It is awful. It is miserable. And you go and fight those things, the Revenants, like, you have to fight them at night. There's no other way. And they guard inhibitors, so that's obviously a premium, valuable resource. You try and fight it, it's already a hard boss fight, but it doesn't one-shot you like the viral. But a viral will just wander into the fight because it hears noise and freaking kill you in the middle of the fight, and there you go. You just lost all those knives, all those healing items, all your weapon durability, just down the fucking shitter. It is so frustrating. I really hate the viral change. Like, there doesn't need to be so many of them, and they don't need to patrol freely. Maybe they can keep them out of the boss arenas at the very freaking least. If you're trying to go into buildings, which the virals are during the day, so you're supposed to go in at night when the virals are out on the streets, they will just follow you in. They'll crawl underneath the entrance and come in, even though you're supposed to be relatively safe in the building. They just never leave you alone. Like, it's almost safer to go in during the day and try and sneak through it than to wait till night where you're just going to get your ass ate by the virals. There's no winning with it. Unless you got a ton of premium resources to spend on freaking UV bars to throw at the fuckers and get rid of their armor, like, you were just screwed until you have the flashlight, and even that is still quite difficult to deal with. So I'd say that almost ruined the game. There's a lot of things there's optional in the menu that you can change, customize your experience. There's even a custom difficulty you can make if you maybe want to play harder, like you take more damage, but without making the enemies spongy. That would maybe be good. Since the game has more focus on like parrying and stuff, unlike the first game. But like even the darker nights, that's an option. You can disable that if you like to see instead of having to rely on your flashlight. But the virals, there's no option for that. It's so frustrating. I know it was a complaint, but they went overkill on it, and they like aren't listening about reverting it or making it less harmful. I think it is just like it's gonna repel so many people early in the game, especially. But like, there was no point in the game where I ever thought night was like doable. I hated every second of it. I had to fly to get to specific objectives. I was on the ground for more than a minute. I would run to a viral and have to run to safety. Eventually, when my parkour levels were up enough, I was able to survive a chase at least, but fighting them, almost never. I cheesed the fuck out of almost every single one I fought. Uh, anyways, with the new Dark Ages thing, I might be a theme that you're into. It kind of reminded me of Gothic, actually, with how everybody's like kind of a scumbag and like they're just making the best out of a shit situation. So like if you like Gothic, or the vibes of it at least, I think you might find something similar here, even if the gameplay isn't quite the same. Uh, Overall, I'd say I don't like this as much as the first Dying Light. Like, yeah, there are a lot of mechanical improvements and things that I think make it potentially better, but as far as fun factor goes, it's just like there's a lot more frustration in its current form. It could change in the future, but the game came out like 3 years ago, dog. Like, they're definitely going to keep doing support as they have with the other game, but who knows if it's going to change for the better or get worse. Like, there's good and bad to that. Mostly positive is, I don't know, it's pretty mixed for me. Like, I grew to hate it. It did take me over a year to finish. There was just a lot of frustration, probably like 50 hours long if you take the time I played with my brother out of this, 50, 60 hours. Uh, Story isn't great in either. I'd still recommend maybe playing the first one then, and if you want more of that, then you check out two. Just remember what I said about the difficulty. And I don't know, man. Like, Bloody Ties was really fun. All right, that was genuinely fun all around because I didn't have to worry about durability and healing items and shit. Like, they just gave me the tools I needed to have fun. It was still difficult, but I didn't have to grind and lose materials like a freaking Dark Souls game. So, like, that's kind of a saving grace. I'd say it's maybe a 6. Like, there's potential in here to make like maybe an 8 at best, but frustrations and just the way things currently are, we fall down to more like the 5 territory with how I feel after playing it. And the story sucking doesn't help either, but I wasn't expecting much. Like, I expected more than the first game, but I don't think we got better necessarily. But then Bloody Ties was really fun, so like I'll throw it a freebie point for that, right? I'm feeling about a 60. Metacritic says what? 80? I mean, if you're generous, no, 80 awards. Maybe there's a point in time where it was perfect, but I don't think it is that way in its current state. Anyways, I'll still probably play the Beast. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be a lot more actiony. Like, you got guns and shit, and then you're playing Kyle Crane, who's like a superhuman now, so it's pretty sick. Not expecting much from the story, but again, it looks like it'll probably be fun at least. And they said they've taken a lot of current complaints into consideration, so they know to change things at least. And maybe that'll affect the Dying Light 2 that we have when it comes out. Kind of like when Dead Island 2 finally came out, they upgraded the gore system to be a lot more chunky to like compete with what Dead Island 2 was doing. I think that was pretty cool when it happened. Uh, yeah, that's I guess all there is to say. I mean, there's probably a lot more I could talk about with it. You know how it is. Just a jumbled thoughts. It was alright. It was alright, but I didn't smile. I was very frustrated. So that's about it, folks. I will see you later. Bye bye.